beat my ass, I want you to try it. I was so
Julie, please, Julie, one sec, because you know what? Because I haven't known you for long, but I care about you, and I don't want you. Please don't run out here and fight nobody with a fur coat on. Please don't, because you don't know how they roll. Like
no, bro. But yeah,
this nigga's on roofs.
Yeah, for sure.
We don't know what that means.
There's just a lot of absolute nonsense. Think that she wanted me? Wait till she sees.
it's true.
Welcome to the Any Last Words Pod. My name is Keon, aka Almighty the DJ.
My name is Earl Lonnie Hooks. A very special thanks to everybody that will be joining us today on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple, as well as YouTube. Wow. Please do not forget to follow us at ALW Pod on Instagram. The God in me honors the God in each and every one of you. Today, Keon, take it away since you guys have such great rapport.
All right. Today, we have a very old friend of mine. Her name is Julia.
Yep.
We have some work history together. We shared a job together. Mm-hmm. She has so graciously come to the podcast to talk about herself and the things that she's going through.
We love the energy so far.
We love the energy so far.
Thank you.
She came in here.
Doesn't seem like you've changed a bit, and I love that.
No.
Her brown skin is shining brightly.
Shining.
It's crazy. She's got the gold accents just to get it popping a little bit more.
Absolutely.
So I feel like we should start with how this came to be first. But what did you have to say?
No. That's cool. So first of all, Julia has a really, really dope food blog that is run through her Instagram. I'm not sure if you're on anything else.
Not yet.
Okay, not yet.
Working on those.
It's called Lunch with Liya. I would please do yourself a favor. Follow her on Instagram at Lunch with Liya.
Yes.
Do yourself a favor. I think she's doing her thing out here, and I saw that. I had considered reaching out to you to come to this pod, and I didn't at first, and not because I didn't want you to. I just hadn't really gotten around to it. Mm-hmm. Procrastination. We just talked about that.
Yes.
But randomly, Earl hit me up and was like, "Who is this? You know, I'm seeing all this food. This, you know, she's doing a great job. Like, who is this?"
It was something along the lines of, "Who is this beautiful brown skinned queen?"
Well, yes.
Or something like that runs this food blog. And we follow, because I didn't follow this person. Like, I don't know who this person is.
Yeah. And I was like, that's Julia. I was like, I used to work with her a long time ago at Stride Right. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you know what? I considered the same thing. I just hadn't really reached out to her yet. And here we are.
And here we are.
So thank you very much. Thank you for coming and doing this, because you didn't have to do this.
Nah, yeah.
What made you want to come do this?
Well, I've known Keon for so long that when he reached out to me, I was excited. I was like, yeah, I want to see you. I want to talk to you. I want to know what's going on with you. And I'd love the opportunity to be on a podcast with, you know, two black men doing it. I feel like I see so many podcasts where, first of all, the men are trash.
Damn.
I'm just saying.
Yo, all right. Let's go. Let's do it.
The men be trash.
Tell me about it.
They really say the most crazy things. I feel like people get mics and all of a sudden all the trash that they've been holding in is just ready to spew out, you know? It'd be people with like really bad takes on everything that have podcasts. But I went through your page and you guys actually bring up insightful things. You guys both seem to have like very clear minds, and you're very, like you said in the beginning, like the God in me sees the God in you. You have such a like clear aura when you speak, both of you guys, that it was interesting to me. And I was like, okay, I do want to be part of that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm with that. Yeah, for sure. I'm with that. Those are awesome flowers.
I mean, you got to set yourself apart. You know what I'm saying? You set yourself apart in the food industry, food blog game. Well, I don't know what you call it exactly. We trying to set ourselves apart in the podcast game, you know? And it's a lot of stuff out there that's just the same, right? Like we, you know, me and you, we've looked at pods, all, you know, different pods, and looking at people like, man, what are these people talking about? You know, and you probably see all the pods you're probably looking at. It's a bunch of guys probably, you know, with bad takes, trashing women, talking about sports, and you know.
I mean, is there anything specific that comes to mind? Like, what are you seeing that you don't like? Like when you say trash, what is it? Just not well thought out ideas, or is it specifically the content you don't like?
Both. I think that a lot of times, you know, if somebody asks me about, you know, what do you feel about X, Y, and Z? I have no ego in me that'll sit here and talk about something I'm not really well educated on. I'll rather step back and be like, honestly, I don't know enough about that to give you an opinion, but hope you have a great day or whatever. A lot of these people don't have those boundaries. Like, I've seen so many times where they're just saying things just to say them, not accurately, not actually making much sense. I feel like people have the moment to kind of speak what's on their mind, and they want it to fit in this box so bad that they'll go through every single little route to kind of try to cram it in there. And it's like, it's not the right shape. It's not the right size. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit here. But they'll go ahead and let those voices out anyway. And it's boring. It's tired. It's annoying. It's tired.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like quarantine made these men way too bored. Way too bored. A lot of them must have had their job shut down. And it's not just men.
I was like, oh man, this is getting rough.
It was women too. I feel like it's been a lot of people who but there's been a lot of great things that came out of quarantine.
Yeah.
I feel like people were at home and, their creativity was just running wild because they had nothing else to do. And it's like, well, this is a great time to put time into my craft because I'm not at work or I'm not at school or whatever the case is. So I have all this free time to do what my soul actually wants to be doing. So
this podcast started in quarantine.
I saw it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there is something to say about that, is sitting around and having the time to figure things out. I mean, we just talked about, I mean, this is a funny example, but you not getting haircuts as often as you did. And this is a lot of people. A lot of people not getting haircuts as often as they did.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, because you had it was kind of a fade, right? It was like a fade.
It was a ball fade.
Fade.
It was like mine was spiky. It was shorter than yours.
You wasn't trying to say it.
I mean, I wasn't sure if I didn't quite remember if it was like bald, or if it was just like something that I would get.
Yeah.
No, it was getting shorter and shorter every few months. It was just getting closer and closer to my skin. I feel like my barber wanted me to look a certain way, and he was like edging me closer and closer to it because he'd be like, "Oh, let's go a little shorter." I'm like, "Well, let's not do that." But then I'm done with the cut, and I look in the mirror, and I'm like, "I think this is a little short."
Let me ask you a question. What's the atmosphere like in your barbershop? And I want to ask, just I don't get to ask a lot of women, what the atmosphere is like in the barbershop, because when I go, it's mostly guys in there. What's going on in there?
Do you like to talk to your barber?
Yeah.
I love.
Are you his friend?
I would consider myself his friend.
Okay.
He's probably like almost 20 years older than me, probably 20 years older than me.
Okay.
But he's so funny and so cool and so chill. You know what I mean? Like, I would talk to him in the barbershop, outside of the barbershop. Like, we have each other on Instagram, like personal Instagrams.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, like,
oh, yeah.
He's such a cool guy. Like, he was just...
personal Instagrams that other people in her life don't get access to.
You know what I'm saying? Because, listen, if somebody asks me for my Instagram and I really don't want them to have it, I'll give them lunch with Liya real quick. But, if I do want them to have it, I'll give them my real Instagram, because why not? But, he was he was before lunch with Liya too. But either way, he was so cool, like, and so chill. And honestly, I wouldn't even call him like a dad, even though he's like 20 years older than me. He could have been my dad, but I would say he was like more like an older brother. And I don't have like a biological older brother. So he was like that. Like, he would, like, listen, because I wasn't going to the hairdresser.
What's he doing for you?
I didn't have a hairdresser, and the ladies who do my nails, they don't really speak a lot of English. So I feel like I would come to him and I'd be venting to him like, "Oh yeah, you have an idea. This guy did this and this and this." He'd be like, "Listen, this is what you're gonna do. Oh, you're gonna tell him this. You're gonna act like this. You're gonna move like this." Like, and he just always put me on game.
Okay. All right. Is he toxic at all? Like, cause just like the sort of the flavor that you said, listen, this is what we gonna do. It seemed like y'all were coming with like a vengeance.
No, that was me. Oh no, I was definitely a bad person at that point.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no. So, I was a villain. Like,
okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Yo, like, what are you doing to these people?
No. I was terrible. Like, I feel like when I started getting my haircuts, I was like at the end of a relationship that was really bad. You know what I'm saying? That ended, and I feel like after that, it was just like villain mode. It was like, this is a great time to let loose.
Did you cut your hair to like refresh, or is that something you wanted to do anyways?
It was something I wanted to do anyways. Like, I was always cutting my hair little by little by little. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just, I loved doing it. I don't know, something about it. I do feel like there is something very freeing about a cut, because I love cutting my hair. It felt so good. It's just, I don't know, just that fresh cut and seeing that blunt, like, it does something to you. It makes you excited. It makes you feel like, I know you see that. You know what I'm saying?
I can dig it.
You can see that. And so I was getting my haircuts while I was still in that relationship, but I just wanted a new thing. And I felt like, honestly, part of it was just like a moment. I was driving to my cousin's house. She does hair. So I was going there to get my hair braided. I had the braiding hair in the passenger seat. I saw a barbershop, and I'm like, oh, I know people from Instagram who go to that barbershop. Pulled in, and I'm like, yeah, we can just cut all this off.
just on a whim.
Yeah. That was it. I pulled up
yeah.
and I did that, and then he cut my hair off, and I got back in the car, and I was like laughing and crying at the same time. I'm like, it was like a Britney Spears moment. I'm like, don't know I did that, and I drove to her house. I'm like, so what do we do now? And she's just like, well, you're bald, so there's nothing we're gonna do.
Right? Yeah, for sure.
Like, there's nothing we're gonna do. And literally, she was just like, I guess she's my cousin, so she's like, yeah, don't tell your mom you came here, because I do not want her thinking that this was my idea. My mom was so pissed.
Damn.
She was so upset about it. Oh yeah, like a lot of Africans, I feel like, are very, not stereotypical, but like they have like very certain ideas of how women are, how men are. It's the reason why a lot of them do not like their sons to have like long hair or earrings. They're like, that's very women like, and that's the reason why they don't always like their girls to have short hair. They're like, it's kind of masculine. So my mom was very much like, oh, your hair was so pretty. It's so nice. Why would you do this? And I was like, because I don't care. That's why. And so that was what that was.
Stepping out the boundaries.
I was just speaking to a Congolese friend of mine, and he was telling me that like his cousins, women, they have been just scouring the country and another country, actually like 3 different countries, trying to find like a man. And I thought that was a very, very, because to him it's just like, it's nonchalant. Like this is what happens. Like you try to find someone, and depending upon where you are, they're going to give you a certain amount of goats or sheep or cow or something like that, or just the equivalent in money as it's sort of an offering or some sort of like good faith. Yeah, which is, I guess, what we would just do with the ring for
pretty
the most
part. Actually, you're right.
Right. Yeah. And I just thought that was extremely interesting. So when you're talking about like these cultural traditions and things like that, I'm like, man, I don't know anyone that's just like, that is, well, I mean, some people, but it being so much of a mission that you're willing to, like uproot yourself, go to a different state, go to Canada, go back to Africa, try to find people in Africa just to come to some understanding that these men are now only talking to you because they're trying to find a way back to America with you. Right? Like, it's just it's very, very interesting.
Do they know of these men before they go there? Or is it literally like a shot in the dark? Like, we're going to get here and maybe we'll find something, maybe we won't?
Yeah, it's a lot of that. There's WhatsApp, people find each other on on social media and stuff like that. Yeah, but it's
wow.
Yeah. So interesting little cultural things, but
yeah.
I feel like I can't see it.
The bald?
I'm trying to find, like, because it's hard to see people's like head shapes. But if your head shape is circular, like, is it pretty round?
I think it's pretty round. I think it's very.
Then that would work. Then that would work. Then
I thought it looked good.
Oh,
thought it looked nice.
Yeah.
I love it. I miss it, actually. I miss it a lot. But I've been growing it for 2 years now. I'm just like, dang, am I really gonna give up over again? Like, I feel like literally my birthday just passed, and I was like, you know what? Like, I wanted my hair to be done. My hair's not done. My birthday's in 2 days. My brunch is tomorrow.
Yeah, you was living last week.
Oh, listen, I was out every day for 10 days straight doing something with somebody or somebodies. It was a lot.
Was your dinner taken care of each night?
Absolutely.
I ain't mad at you.
We're going. You already know we getting into that. we are going to get in.
Were you able to do any like get any footage those nights? Like, were you getting footage like all those nights, or were some of those just more personal?
Nights. I feel like, for one, like, I'm single, I'm dating. I feel like I didn't want to always shoot everything because I'm like, we don't need everybody to know about this. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain times I'm like, let me just get the food, and I know, you'll see maybe a shirt or whatever the case is, but I'm like, the only person who's gonna know it's different people every time is going to be the person who's with me.
Right.
Like, okay, that was me, and I know that's not me.
Right.
So who's you with? You know what I mean?
Right.
Got you.
But generally speaking, I feel like the footage was very much
Damn,
stop right here for the footage because we're not.
Yo, man, these Instagram games, man, that people like these little like mysterious little shots and stuff.
You have to, because honestly, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like guys be getting scared. Like, I feel like they are afraid of competition sometimes. I feel like there's 2 types. I feel like it's always the extreme.
Okay,
the guys who really don't care at all, or the guys who will be like, oh, like, I really don't care. Like, I don't care who else is out there for you. Like, I'm going to jump in the race. Okay. Maybe the other ones who were like, I saw you out with a guy the other day.
What's up with that?
So, like, damn.
Who's that?
Right.
Oh, y'all serious?
No, but Honestly, you'd be surprised.
That is, yeah. Oh man, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. That's rough.
Is the dating pool really? Is it trashy these days?
Oh, let me tell you, it's a cesspool. It's terrible.
Ooh,
man.
It's bad. I mean, I feel like I don't know, like.
Let's do it.
On why? I feel
Okay,
like,
okay, please. Yeah, I was gonna say because I need to know why because I hear this so often, and no one can ever really tell me why. All they can really tell me is that everyone else in the world sucks and they're great. That's all I ever hear.
I don't think it's just that. I feel like there's so many different things going on. Like there's the people who are. I think it's the age range. And I feel like we're just in a place where we're trying to make it for ourselves so badly that a lot of times it's hard to fit someone else in there. For me, I would say like within the dating pool that I'm in right now, right? There's the guys who are hella cheap. And somebody like me, I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I make enough money to take care of my bills and take care of everything I want outside of that. You know, I'm not gonna go out and buy a Birkin. You know what I'm saying? I don't got Birkin money, but I have what I need.
Do you know what a Birkin is?
It's a bag, right?
Oh, okay.
It is. Yeah.
I just because you be out the loot. I don't know.
I heard. What's the dude?
Lil Baby?
That be singing. Nah, it's not even Lil Baby. It's like a little singing dude.
Oh, Gunna?
No. It's A Boogie.
A Boogie.
I heard A Boogie say Birkin or whatever at a point in time. I know I sound crazy right now. But I don't know anything about Birkin. I don't know anything about anything that's like a high class or any of that. You see what I got on right now.
So like it. Go with it. I mean, I'm out here wearing a whole like $4 legging, so we're good.
Hey, we not judging. This is a pace of no judgment.
I mean, yeah, you the one in here that's doing it.
No,
right now.
I mean, and you know, I don't even usually dress like this during quarantine. I got mad comfortable.
Same.
Like you look at any of the like previous 25 podcast videos. I'm in a hoodie and some sweatpants and some North Face slippers.
1,000%.
But I'm trying to get back into a mode of where I'm actually wearing jeans and, you know, shirts and like regular
Just trying
shoes.
to put a little bit more thought into it.
Yeah, like cause I'm just, you know, like I used to put clothes on. Like I'm trying to.
Let me tell you.
I used to put clothes on.
He's telling the truth. Keon used to pull up, be ready for a date, you know what I'm saying, and be like, should I wear this shirt or this shirt at work, okay? We worked in the mall, so he'd go out and shop on his lunch break or not even on the lunch break, sometimes just walk around and go get something. Be like, should I wear this one or this one?
Wait, you said this was Stride Rock in Fair Oaks. So I was across the hall at Tiavana.
Oh, really?
Do you remember? He worked across the hall. I
don't think we ever met.
We probably did though, because I used to go to Tivana all the time, and there was always there was always people who would bring us free teas all the time. Remember?
Then I had to,
because the manager over there was like she was some sort of. This is gonna sound terrible.
Was your hair short then?
What?
Was your hair short then?
No.
Nah, she used to have the braids and shit back then.
Okay.
But yeah, anyways, he worked at Tiavana right across the hall for a period of time. I don't know if you were there after I left Stride Right or not, but yeah.
I don't know. I worked there for like a few months because it was pretty. Yeah, you got paid minimum wage, and then it was commission based.
Yeah,
and we're selling tea and ceramics.
Yeah.
Like it's hard. Like you know what I mean to like try to wrap someone. You know how much them fucking like loose tea and ceramics cost?
I know.
Strainer, it's super expensive.
Yeah.
That's a hard sell.
Yeah.
Although one day I did sell like $600 worth of tea.
I remember you telling me about that.
Guy.
I remember you telling me about that.
He had come over from the Middle East, and he was going back home, and he was like, "I need the strongest tea for my family, the strongest, only the strongest."
Wow.
Sold him $600 worth. But I did want to get on this before because I'm gonna put a pin in this because I want to come back to dating because we're gonna have this conversation. But first, I wanted to talk about the fact that she said all these men are trash and how it was manifested through podcast content and how we came into the quarantine. We're all sitting in our fucking houses trying to figure out how we're going to spend our time. Maybe you had people you were going to call. Maybe you decided you were going to look on YouTube and find, I don't know, some arts and crafts. You were going to do some DIYs, or you were going to learn how to do yoga or exercise in the house, or you were going to read some books, or you were just going to smoke a bunch of weed and drink because, you know, they didn't shut down them ABC stores, right? Like those were essential workers.
Those were open.
Right.
Those were open.
Those were essential workers. Shut down America and tell them you're not going to drink at the same time.
Right.
No, like they would have just broke in anyway. Like America, you're not going to just not have alcohol.
No, they would have found a way. Hey,
would have been a riot.
Niggas would have been brewing their own shit. I promise you.
No, they would have broken in and taken them. They're like, you open it up or we gonna open it up. Like, what you want. But I say all this to say that it is interesting trying to figure out, one, who you are in these moments when you have to try to crawl back in yourself.
Yeah.
People bought a bunch of microphones and shit, right? And they started just letting out whatever was going on. Like podcasts boomed. And you're right. A lot of people don't think things through very well. They don't have a lot of conversations. They may have some interactions, but they're not having the types of conversations that propagate growth mentally. And you can tell that when people start speaking, you have a pretty decent understanding of what sort of conversations they frequently find themselves in. 2-3 minutes of talking, you're like, all right, I have a pretty decent idea of like how you use your mind, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things that I decided I was going to do was try to find a way to systematically make creativity and growth work for myself. Like I'm going to start taking and building my own growth machine.
Yeah.
Right? You've heard me talk about all these things before. Meditation, reading books, yoga, mindfulness, conversations, this, that, and the third, right? I'm hitting the sauna now.
The sauna, that actually sounds so good.
Do you ever sauna?
I don't sauna, but I get Planet Fitness. You know they don't got nothing.
Damn,
like
Planet
LA
Fitness, yeah. I used to go to Planet Fitness. I used to subject myself to that.
Where do you go, LA Fitness?
No, now I go to One Life.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
so it's a step up, but also probably a step down from LA.
I mean, I heard that maybe that's where I gotta go to find a man because.
Yeah, wait a second.
Well, hold on. Is that you want to? Like, is that what you want for yourself? Like, you want to, or you just like maybe there'll be something there and it'll work out?
I feel like I'm open to a relationship at this point. Like, I feel like, I've gone through the whole stages of like wanting to be alone and intentionally like completely not dating, not doing anything at all with men.
How much time did you spend like just chilling?
Intentionally for a year. Like I had really like sat there and prayed about it. I'm like, for 1 year straight, I'm not going to be in no relationships. I'm not going to engage in anything too romantically involved.
Not going to be a villain. Oh, you was a villain. Yo,
I'm kidding.
Yo, we got to hear about just one villain story. Just one. All right. Listen, everything else that you say is going to paint you in a great picture. So it'll be able to contrast very nicely. We're going to have one. Think about it. You don't have to do it right now. But I am going to finish this point. And the point is, it's really just a story of just absent-mindedness in people. I go to sauna today and it's a pretty quaint place, right? Like it's usually an L when you go into places. I'm sitting on
I've seen some squares.
You've seen some squares, right? Oh, you're in a nice place. But I'm sitting on the small part of the L by myself. There's really just room for like one. You could fit another guy next to me, but it's really just one.
Yeah.
Another guy comes in. That's cool. I'm meditating. I'm listening to classical music. I have my headphones on.
Wow.
Another guy walks in. So now we have 2 guys aside from me. There's room for one other guy. Really. I mean, another one can like kind of stand up somewhere. But like on the benches, there's room for one other guy. Another guy comes in. He sits down next to me. Completely fine. Everything makes sense right now. Both of those guys that first came leave.
He just stayed there.
Bro.
Now, I don't know what the equivalent is for you women. But Keon, have you gone into a bathroom before? There have been 8 urinals. You go choose the one in the corner because you don't want to be the one in the center and get stuck with 2 guys that come in and for some reason they pick the left and the right one. And now you have a guy on your left and your right. And then as you are in the bathroom by yourself at one urinal, at the end, a guy comes in and chooses the urinal right next to you.
That is insane.
So it's never happened to you?
No, it's never happened to me, but I can imagine how insane that is. Like,
definitely happened to me. It's definitely happened to me before.
Like in the bathroom.
In the bathroom.
He just went over and there
are 8 stalls. I'm in the 8th one. He comes to the 7th
number
one.
7. Fuck out.
It's just him and I.
Nah.
No.
So I'm in the sauna. Those guys leave. Now it's just him and I. We're sitting there. Again, I'm listening to my classical music. I'm meditating. I'm sweating. It feels great. Yeah. The reason why I'm going to do this anyway, before I even finish the story, the whole sauna thing, is because I find it to be such a sobering experience to sweat out. Mm-hmm. Now, I exercise a lot, so with that
Did
exercise,
you work out or you just did the sauna?
I just went there for the sauna today. I just went there and sat in there for 30 minutes.
Wow.
Was that enough?
Oh, that's enough.
Plenty.
They tell you
there for 10 minutes and you'll be out here.
First of all, there's a sign out front that says only do this for up to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
You risking it.
So that's the first and foremost. You just hydrate. You just gotta hydrate. That's all. So you don't pass out in there.
The last sauna I went to was my trip to Chicago a couple years ago.
I remember that.
Yeah. I took my girl to a spa. We, went and got some massages, hit the sauna. But it was a infrared sauna.
So it's not coals or anything.
No,
wood.
it's like
it's just light.
Yeah, it's light. It's light.
How was that? How'd you?
I mean, it was cool. We was in there, and it was so hot, my thighs were sweating.
Yeah.
Like it was hot.
But how do you like the process, the sauna? Like, do you feel?
That was like the first time, maybe the second time I've ever been in the sauna. I went to the sauna one time at the Freedom Center years ago. And then that was like my second time ever hitting the sauna. So I didn't really go in there with the mindset of, I'm going to sit back and just, sweat. And
fuck you right now. Cause
Cause
you playing me a little bit.
I'm not playing you. But no, I didn't go in there.
I'm going to sit and sweat.
I didn't go in there with the mindset that I'm going to sit and like just sweat all the impurities out of me and just, just come out and just like, yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I just kind of went because it was something they offered.
Right.
But But I mean, it was cool. It was cool.
It's one of those things to me, where, since you're talking about sweating out impurities, toxins, right? Is that there are certain things, I mean, there are really a lot of things like this where you do them in one place, it's completely unacceptable and it sucks and it consumes you. But if you do it in the right place, it's the best thing in the world. It's sort of like relieving yourself, like going to the bathroom. If you do that at work while you're sitting at a desk, that's going to suck. It's going to consume you. You're going to be like, oh, fuck. Like, I just pissed myself. Like, I got to get somewhere. I got to fix this or people are going to see me. Like, there's a lot that runs through your mind if that's the case. Yeah. But if you're just at a toilet, it's just fine. You just let it go. There's no issue there.
Yep.
I feel like sweating's the same thing. If you're just out and you're just sweating profusely, it's coming through your clothes. You're out in front of people. You're like, this is ridiculous. I'm miserable. Like,
I agree with you. I see where you're coming from.
But if you're just in a sauna and you can just sweat, and that's what you're expected to do in this room,
butt ass naked.
Exactly. Well, I mean, I got a towel on. I'm not in there just like completely. I mean, you can do that.
I mean, the joint I was in, it was made for two. Like, we was in there naked.
I mean, that's what's up.
Yeah, just fuck it.
I mean, that's awesome.
Love it.
I'm not gonna.
I sat a towel down, but
it's fine. that's completely fine. But I find it to be extremely sobering experience, like putting yourself in any sort of circumstances where you're going to be forced to bear what is happening to you in that moment.
Yeah.
Whether it's like a very cold shower and you can't just like not pay attention to the fact that you're in an ice cold shower or ice bath or something like that.
Yeah,
Same thing. You can't escape that. So you're going to be focusing on that. It's going to be an extremely sobering and stimulating situation. Same thing with the sauna. And I love it. I get out and I feel fucking amazing. And it's just one of those other things that I've just now put on my list of components in my human growth machine. So, this is just maybe some of these guys you're just talking about need to sweat out some of the toxins.
They sure do. They sure do.
maybe that's what needs to happen. Okay, now let's get back into this. Oh, wait, one more second. Then I left and I told you I didn't want to go spend money at the smoothie place anymore. It just hit me. And I think a lot of this was the clarity that I was thinking post sauna
growth.
And I was like, man, I can't do this anymore. I can't just keep going and spending $6 on a smoothie every time I want the smoothie. I need my own juicer. I went straight to the store and I bought my own juicer.
I love it.
I
love it.
I was looking at that.
This is spinach. This is kale.
Is it good?
This is okay. So that's subjective.
No.
Well, my thing is, Damn.
No. Well, okay.
See, so my thing is, so I grew up with a vegetarian in my family. And every time we went over this person's house, my aunt, she made my brother and I eat whatever she was eating. So I grew up drinking wheatgrass juice.
Eating seaweed crisps.
Seaweed crisps. All of that. Like, I ate all these different types of things. So one, I think my palate is ready for it. So it could taste terrible to you, but I did put fruit in there for natural sugars.
What?
So there is banana, there is strawberry, there is kiwi.
With the skin.
With the skin.
Oh.
See,
Something about the outside of a kiwi really does not make me feel comfortable.
No, oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, something about it, like, it reminds me of those little mats that people have outside of their houses, you know?
That is hilarious.
It's pretty accurate.
Like, that makes
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Only those things, they feel like hay. Right? Like they're
kiwis
sturdy.
Are like furry. I don't know. It's weird. And it's not comfortable. It's not okay with me. I probably haven't had a kiwi since like elementary school.
Raspberry?
Raspberries.
Can you deal with the slight fur of a raspberry?
I feel like I don't feel it when I put it in my mouth.
Okay.
I feel like they feel kind of velvety, but they don't necessarily feel furry to me because it's so fine and small.
Okay.
The kiwi you're going to feel. You're going to taste it.
Yeah.
It's going to be in your mouth.
I mean, not blended, but...
Maybe not blended. Okay.
I get what you're saying, though.
Okay, man. Banana, kiwi. I got mangoes and pears too. I should have threw those in there.
Yeah,
mango.
mango in there.
Yeah, I should have.
Threw that mango in.
What else? I put some lemon juice, some orange juice in here. There's celery. There's kale. Did I say kale?
Yeah.
Oh, I did? Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. It's delicious.
I mean, when you say it like that, it doesn't sound so bad, but it's just very green. I feel like when things are too green, I'm like, I know it's going to taste like grass. But with all those things in it, maybe not.
But you didn't do like a yogurt or nothing like that.
No.
All right.
No.
All right.
Anywho, so that was a little bit of my day. I just wanted to share. Okay, back on to you, villain time. What the hell were you doing to these men?
I feel like
and were you doing and yeah, let me just let you talk, woman. Please do your thing.
I don't feel like I was really that bad all the time. I feel like looking back it was bad because I feel like I wasn't being intentional. And I feel like I was also kind of misrepresenting my intentions. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like at times where I felt like, this guy's catching feelings. I really could not care if I ever hear from him ever again. You know what I'm saying? But also letting it go on. Or, guy, I remember actually...
Let's do it. Do that one. Do that one.
So there's this one guy last year, you know what I'm saying? All my friends, they met people on like Tinder and Hinge and stuff, and we weren't outside. I'm a day party type of girl. But day parties were shut down, and I feel like I haven't really gone back since they
using Ozios?
Oh, listen, no, I'm a decades girl. I love me decades on a Sunday. I love decades on a Sunday. But I hadn't been because of, quarantine. So I had joined Hinge. Like my friends were like, they're both in relationships from Tinder. Tinder ain't for me. But, I joined Hinge. I'm like, it's cool.
There are a difference between, because I know you never got a chance to dabble in these.
I didn't really jump into that.
But there are stark differences between these things.
Okay.
Yeah, so Hinge is more clean, put together, more normal people, apparently, allegedly. But anyways, I joined Hinge, and I feel like at the time I was like kind of in between, like, do I really want a relationship? Probably not. Do I really want a guy to kind of, spend time with and just give me attention, Because it'd be like that sometimes. Like, honestly, I feel like a lot of times we think we want relationships, but really we just want attention. We want somebody to be, affectionate when we want affection, and somebody who's going to ask me how my day was so I can go on a rant and talk about how I hate my friends. Whatever it is we want.
Yeah.
So there's one guy, I wasn't really attracted to him, but, everything in me was like, he looks like a scammer. And not to say I like scammers, because I've never really been with a scammer, but I was like, you know what? This is my time to shine. I'm going to have fun with this man. Let him hit his cards. I'm just going to be along for the ride. If I get a call from the FBI or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I won't snitch. Whatever. I was really down for the ride. I'm not gonna lie.
So when you mean scammer, you actually mean like a professional scammer, like someone whose job it is to get over on other. That he look. Wait a minute. Wait. I'm gonna need you to slow down and tell me for a second what the qualifications are of looking like a scammer. Like, what's the criteria for that?
He had like designer shoes on. He was on roofs and stuff in his pictures. Like he was just on a roof for no reason. What you doing on a roof? Well, things are closed. Why are you on this roof? He was on a roof, and I had the chains out. know, he had his little finger here, putting out his lip to show his little grill, you know what I'm saying? But then he had his grill, but then he had like wispies. Like he didn't even have like a full beard like he had. Like he had little, like less than you. Like it's just patch. You know what I'm saying? So I was like,
I grow mine for the brothers who can't.
You know,
you always have.
We love that for you. We love that.
You always have.
But he was not growing it for nothing, for nobody. Nothing's going on there. But you know, the way he was dressed up and the way he was posing stuff, had his little fur on. It was getting scammer.
Oh damn! Hold on. Whoa, she painted a whole picture.
Yeah.
This nigga.
Why was he on the roof?
Like Batman overlooking the city. He got designer shoes on and a fur coat and a grill and gold chains.
Oh, this nigga was a character.
Oh,
yeah.
So I'm thinking he's a scammer. And I wasn't even attracted to him, but I'm like, you know, I'm attracted to the life right now. Let's go ahead.
All right.
It's been a long quarantine. It's been a long quarantine. We've been bored. Like, let's get some excitement. You know what I'm saying? Like, I won't do nothing for you, but you know, why not be along for the ride? Like, I need something to look forward to. I got to know this man, and I'm like, bro, he's boring, and he's definitely not a scammer. Like, he's not a scammer. He's just a regular guy making regular money. And, you know, that would have been nice if I was actually attracted to him. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't.
Yes.
How does that work? Trying to just be with someone or do anything with someone on a affectionate level or even a dating level if you're not attracted to them?
I just never gave him affection. I feel like, you know, I just gave him a lot of time.
Oh,
you know,
he was
would,
just dry.
Oh, listen, I never kissed him. I never kissed him. Not even on the cheek. Like, and it went on for months, months. But, you know.
Did you give off in your body language? Like, did you give social cues that you were interested into him?
I even told him I did. Like, and the thing is, like, why did you do that? Don't know. Who cares, though? You know?
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out why he stuck around and did these things.
Me
like,
too.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Me too.
we had the conversations, and he's like, you know, how do you feel about me? And I'm just sitting here in my head, like, but at the same time, I was like, yeah, you know, I do like
What
you.
is this?
Yo!
You know what I mean? I was just going with it because I was like, why not? You know, he's nice. We have fun times. Like, he's interesting. Like, he likes to do fun things. Like, I like doing fun things with him. I just knew that, like, the attraction is not building. Like, I really thought, you know, when you like somebody's personality, the attraction comes out. But I'm like, it just didn't. Like, it just didn't come out for me. And, like, not to say he's ugly. He just wasn't my type in any shape, way, or form.
Got you.
So, yeah, you know, I went along with it and stuff. And, yeah, eventually, he had planned out something for me, and I went and got my hair done. I got a little press and trim or whatever with my girl, and that little 2-hour appointment turned into 5 hours because, you know, she and I went to middle school, high school together. We hadn't seen each other for years. We both had kids. You know, we're just going through the motions of talking about life and what's been going on, you know, since we've last really linked up. So I was with her for maybe 5-6 hours, and I was supposed to meet him after, but also he was acting kind of funny the night before, kind of giving me attitude. I don't like that. I don't like that. Guys be trying to joan too much, and honestly, like, you have but so much before, you know, now I don't want to talk. Now you're going to get attitude out of me. And he was just getting on my nerves, and I feel like he wasn't feeling it through the text. Like, he probably didn't realize how annoyed I was. So I stopped responding to him the night before. So that day that we were supposed to go out, he didn't confirm with me. One thing about me, if there's no confirmation, I'm not going to come. I'm staying my ass at home. I'm going to assume that it's not happening.
Yeah, we was definitely looking for that confirmation from you.
Oh, no. He made sure to stay on top of it because, I mean, I was going to come regardless, but he made sure, like, Julia, don't play with us. You know what I'm saying?
I told her, I was like, fortunately, I am a very patient person.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So he stayed on it because I wasn't responding sometimes. I'm terrible about it. But, you know, he stayed on it. But, yeah, the day comes, he goes to the Joan, you know, and you have to pay for what I don't want to say too much because I don't know if you're going to watch. But, you know, you have to pay for the activity we're going to do. And, you know, I have paid for it since then with somebody else, and it's like $100 and some. So you have to pay for the 2 people. So he went to DC. I went back home, Fairfax, and I'm chilling. And, you know, I pulled back home, and he had already been calling my phone, but I was also like, what? When I picked up, you know, and he's like, bro, where are you? And I'm like, damn, did he really go? Like, I heard from you all day. Like, why would you go? You know what I'm saying? And then the night before, it's like, we hadn't really talked. We hadn't confirmed. And he's like, of course I came. Da, 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 da. Like, and he's like, we had gone back and forth for like an hour. I'm like, bro, had you just said, just come now, I could have been there already. But instead you want to have an attitude. And I'm not going to give into that because you're not going to have an attitude with me and then tell me to come out. Do you know what I'm saying? Had he just been like, listen, I'm waiting for you. We have a reservation. Can you just pull up? Because I don't live that far from DC. I'm like 30 minutes, 30 something. So I could have been there pretty quickly. But, you know, he was getting a little too much attitude. So I was just going back and forth. We just go back and forth. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, but you didn't confirm. I did not think we were going to do this. And he's looking at it like, why would we not? I'm like, because you did not confirm. And he's like, I don't need to confirm for something we already planned. Yes, you do. You sure do. There's plenty of places, if you don't confirm your appointment, they're going to cancel that joint. You're going to pull up with egg on your face. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what happened. So we're going back and forth. And then eventually he's like, you know what? I'm seeing red. Me.
Ooh. Seeing red.
Right.
What, are you trying to fight you?
Well, no, well,
That's exactly what I said.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Because
exactly what I
because
said.
there are two different ways I'm taking it. It's like one.
I just never heard nobody say that.
I
Like,
know, right? Because that's a wild way to express
yeah.
it.
I'm seeing red.
Either way, you're trying to express either one of these two things that I'm about to say. It's a bad way of expressing it. One is the way that you're taking it right now, which is when I see you, hey, we might need
It's on site.
Exactly, which is wild. Another way of saying it is, I'm noticing red flags from you. Like this might be strike one or strike two from you. I'm seeing red flags.
But the way he said it, he's like, bro, I'm so angry now. You got me so tight. You got me so tight. I'm seeing red.
Oh, well.
Please tell me if you're going to fight me, say it now. If you're going to fight me, pull up. I was really sitting here like, are you dumb? Like, why would you sit here and say that to a woman? A woman that you're trying to be with. You know what I'm saying? You're seeing red. What are you going to do? Beat my ass? I want you to. Try it. I was so confused.
Julie, Julie, one sec. Because you know what? Because I haven't known you for long, but I care about you. And I don't want you, please don't run out here and fight nobody with a fur coat on. Please don't. Because you don't know how they roll. Like,
no, for real. But yeah.
This nigga's on roofs.
Yeah, for sure.
We don't know what that means.
That's what I'm saying, man.
But, yeah, I felt some type of way about that. And I was like, oh no, like, you're never going to see me again. Like, you're never going to, like, I was like, yeah, we're good off each other. Like, because after that, you know, that conversation happened. Again, he was going off for like an hour. We get off the phone. I go in my house. I was just back to living my life. I want to watch Netflix. I wouldn't care. You know what I'm saying? But then the next day, like, he hits me up off some regular stuff, like, good morning. And I'm just thinking, why are you speaking to me?
No.
Do you know what I'm saying? Why are you talking to me now? And he's like, I'm still upset about X, Y, and Z, but I still want to see you. And I'm like, well, you're never going to see me again. Like, I'm good. Like, you cannot see here. What do you mean you're seeing red? And he explained, like, oh, that just means I'm angry. I'm like, you should have said you're angry. You know, like, this is not the time for you to use these kinds of...
Seeing red is a little exaggerated.
It is very intense. It was a lot for me. I'm like, what is that? I had no idea what that even meant at the time. I heard my friends after that happened. I'm like, yo, this guy said he's seeing red because he was angry, and my girls were like, girl, block him. You gotta please. They were like, this
yeah, bro, you can't say that.
Intense. And I was just like, no, that makes no sense to me. Like,
I'm
what do you mean you're seeing red?
Yeah, that means like I'm about to black out, and whatever happens next is not my fault. Like, that's what that seems like to me.
Yeah.
Me too. And
like the bull seeing red.
Yeah.
No.
That did not sound right to me. And I was good off him after that. And he apologized. He's like, after all that, our last actual interaction, he was just like, you know, I apologize for that. I would never do that to you. Blase, blase, blah, all that. You know what I'm saying? And
it was still nice for that.
Yeah.
Nice,
I never responded. Because I was just honestly like, yeah, how could you possibly say something like that to a woman? Like, I feel like even if you were angry, there are better ways of expressing it. And honestly, if you're so angry at that moment, why are you going back and forth for an hour? At this point, we've already concluded, obviously, you're not trying to have me come back out there, and I'm not going to leave my house now because you're doing too much. So end the conversation and talk when you're calm again, because this was a little too much for me, you know?
Yeah.
So that was really the end of that. So, I mean, I don't know who's the villain in this, me or him. Sounds like him to me. That was like, I felt bad because he really did, like, over and over again try to prove himself to me. Got me like edible arrangements and a teddy bear. I said, I want to
edible arrangements.
They still out here?
Yeah. What you? Damn. Edible arrangements ain't going under.
Wow.
And then he was like, what happened? I said I wanted to go to Baltimore for the weekend and, you know, have food and be out. And he planned a whole weekend. And mind you, I had only known the guy for like a month. You know, got me a room, a really nice room at that. You know, took me out to dinner. Like, we went to a drive-in movie. I had never really done that. Like, he did a lot of sweet things. But then it was like, you can't force that feeling. And I had I had zero feelings for him. So it was like, the day we stopped talking, it wasn't like, you know, when you're over with somebody and you just be scrolling through their Instagram, like, what they doing? Yeah, he was scrolling through their Twitter, like, what they saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, where's he at? Why do I see an arm? Is that a bracelet? Is that a bag? You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me turn the volume up. Do I hear a voice? You know, all that stuff. Let me go to his friends' Instagrams and see. It was none of that.
Wow.
It was none of that.
Whose set of nails is that?
Wow.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I've definitely been that. Listen.
Okay. How do you feel? Are you, because we've talked about the men, right? That are either or. I don't give a shit whether you call me or not. It doesn't matter. I got others on my line.
Yeah.
And then the other one is like, oh, so you talking to other dudes? Like, so what's up with that? Which one are you?
Which one? I feel like for me,
because you're talking about looking and hearing voices and nails, and is that a bag? And
no, I
So what we doing? I think you already answered the question, actually.
It's a spectrum, okay?
Okay.
It's a spectrum.
I love it.
Generally speaking, like right now, anybody that I'm dealing with, talking to, I'm single. Y'all knows it. You know, they know what it is. But at the end of the day, like right now, I'm not feeling that for anybody. Like I'm really just chilling. I feel like it's when you're in a relationship and it becomes insecure that those things happen. And I've definitely gotten to that point. Again, I was in a really bad relationship at one point. Actually, the same person, I was with him. Oh no, so I feel like,
I mean, we've talked about this.
No, I was with that person at that time.
Okay,
actually.
okay.
I was with that person at that time.
Okay.
Like, but I don't know if you were there because you left and I stayed for a while.
Yeah,
right.
But I remember you telling me about one in particular guy. I mean, I don't remember his name or anything.
But the thing is, there was two during that time frame. There's one who was like an ex who used to always show up to the store. I know you remember that one. Remember?
Yes, I do.
That was a psychopath. Not that one.
You and Marianne had people showing up.
Oh my God,
showing up
hers
to the
was
store.
worse. Hers was worse because they would be going at it. And I'm like, dang. Yeah.
They had to step into the back one time.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, they had it going on. I mean, I remember when I first started, was so confused. Like, is that her man? And you're like, stay out of it. I was like, because I was so confused because they were like, it was just always something. Sometimes it was calm though. Like they go out to eat and it was calm. And then the next thing you know, he pulls up and they're going at it. I'm like, what the hell?
Hey,
then it was me. Then I got older and I understood.
We talked about, I'm not going to say her name on here, but you know who I'm talking about. Yes.
Wow.
Were you
fucking her?
No.
Okay.
No.
I was going to ask that earlier, but
No, I wasn't. I mean, she definitely had a thing for me, but we were talking.
Very clear.
Yes, it was very clear.
That was very clear.
But we were just talking about when she got fired and how, you know, she kind of looked at me like, did you know this was going to happen?
Yeah.
And I was just like, I mean, yeah, but like, what you want me? I can't tell you. Like, this is duty.
Oh yeah, duty. Julia, duty. I live here. I just live here.
But yeah, we had a short conversation several pods ago about. Yeah, but it just the stride ride just got me. It's got a lot of old memories running through my mind right now.
It does. Oh my God, that was like the beginning of my adulthood. I started working there when I was like 17. Like I remember turning 18 there. Like it was great times. It really was. Honestly,
we definitely
it
had
made
some
me
fun.
actually like working retail. Like I feel like after they left, it was just like just like downhill from there. And you know, eventually everybody had to go. And I left right when they were actually closing down. So you know, I stuck it out pretty long. You know, I think I was there for like 4 years.
Fair Oaks Mall had some interesting stuff going on. Yeah. I'm pretty certain that there was a massage parlor above you guys, and they got shut down like some years ago for malpractice.
Oh, that's all the massage parlors out this area. I feel like there was another one who they had shut down because of the fact that they had a lot of issues with women somehow being filmed and being put on the internet. But I'm pretty sure they're open again.
It's always some nasty niggas there.
Yeah. But shoot, it'd be the women too. And that's the crazy thing. A lot of the people who are working there got caught up in it. Women. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, listen, nasty doesn't miss any genders. That's for sure.
Yeah, man. It gets crazy. I was, having a conversation with a friend recently. I feel like, do I say that every single episode?
Yes,
okay.
A friend.
Okay, anyway. So I'm having a conversation with a friend the other day. And we're talking about integrating thirst in a positive way. Okay? Because it's not like we don't want, like we're sexual beings. We're communicative beings. Like that's what we are. We're social beings. So you want people to be attracted to other people.
Yeah.
It's about how we go about doing these things where things get messy. And I mean, mostly for y'all women, shit just gets wild because I've talked to you about being treated like a piece of meat in various situations, but I never felt like the woman was going to beat me up and put me over her shoulder and walk off with me though. And so that's the big difference there. Like I never felt like they were about to overpower me and take me somewhere that I didn't want to go.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just hear just wild stories all the time. I told you it was the dude that came and worked at my job through like contracting. So it was just going to be for like a weekend as a cook. And he talked to one of my friends there and he just legitimately, this isn't like, I'm not making this up. He just straight up asked her like, yo, like you like sex? Like what?
Thanks.
What? like you fuck with that shit? Like you like, no, like I didn't mean to like, you know what I mean? Just like you like sex.
Just a little penis.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know,
real
like,
casual.
You know what I mean? Like when like a penis go in you. You know what I mean? Like you like that shit. like this was a real way of
That's
him
how they are.
trying.
It'd be like that. I'm not gonna lie, it'd be like that. Guys slide in my DMs and say all times they send pictures. You know, like one guy.
The ones you didn't ask for.
Oh,
unsolicited, of course.
Never asked.
You know, penises be flying around in the Twitterverse and in the Instagram verse for sure. As if, like, man, if she didn't think that she wanted me, wait till she see this. Like, and then
it's true. Like, guys will say these things, and it's like, was I supposed to be like, oh my gosh, yes, throw it at me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like damn, I never seen that. Like, hey, come through.
That's exactly what it'd be. Like, I had posted this one picture. Like, I had on these green shorts and this black top. I was in the bathroom, just a mirror pic. You know what I'm saying? And this guy was like, thank you for posting this picture so we could see your fat bleep real good. I'm just like, you know, the picture's not on my Instagram anymore. I literally had to hide it after that because I felt so uncomfortable. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at the picture like, is it really that prominent? Like, we wear pants, we wear sweatpants. And it's not like guys where our, you know, crotch part in the pants are all the way down to yonder with leggings and stuff. It's up there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, but it doesn't look crazy to me. So it's like, what are you seeing and picturing? And it made me think about it so hard that I just had to take the picture down. Like, it was just so out there. A guy who doesn't follow me.
Shit was just occupying too much space in your mind.
It was.
Yeah.
And I was like, who else is thinking about it this way? Like, who else is looking at it and seeing this and isn't saying anything? You know what I mean?
I would never want to be the nigga that caused a girl to have to remove a picture from her Instagram.
Bro, what?
Imagine being that guy.
Bro.
It's wild. So, I mean,
I was so creepy that she felt compelled to remove it.
That's exactly how it was.
Bro, I've come across, I mean, because I hear about this all the time. I mean, I've, you know, women friends that go to the gym and, you know, the gym.
But you know,
like, and it's
weird. It's hard. It's hard to navigate for men and women, honestly. There's the creeps, yes. But I feel like that makes it hard for the guys who are normal. You know what I'm saying? I go to the gym and I'll be looking all the time like, man, that guy's fine. You know, and we'll catch eyes a couple times. But I'm like, I'm sure that, you know, I'm a cute girl. I feel like there are times where, you know, you get a guy's attention enough. And sometimes you have to speak up. I'm not that girl, though. So if you don't speak, we're just not going to speak. But I know that a lot of times for men, it's like you don't want to overstep those boundaries and be the guy who talks to the girl at the gym who just wants to focus on her workout, who's not interested, who has a man, whatever the case is. Right. So you don't want to overstep those boundaries. And I feel like those weirdos make it hard for like normal guys to prosper. And therefore for like normal girls to prosper too, because, you know, we need each other in that sense. Yeah. But you have these creeps doing the most. And I feel like normally as women, because of that, when a guy approaches you, you automatically think like, how south is this going to go? Not like, ooh, I'm excited for him to talk to me. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Even if he's a normal guy and he approaches you the right way, I feel like a lot of times girls just have that guard up because you never really know. Like, is he faking it till he makes it? Like, what is it right now that he's putting to me that maybe it will change? Or sometimes they really just come that crazy from the beginning. But it's hard for normal relationships to happen the way it used to up in a grocery store, whatever the case is. A guy actually came up to me in the grocery store one time. And, you know,
shout out my niggas.
You know, and he was cute. And I was like, you know, we exchanged numbers or whatever. Everything was nice. But like, I feel like I can't imagine most men actually being okay with doing that because of the fact that 9 times out of 10, I'm sure they're looking at it like, she's going to shut me down. She's going to think I'm like pestering her when she's really just trying to get something done. You know what I mean? But
we just had my dad on here. He was talking about this, the stories that you tell yourself and how they hinder you from they paralyze
like
you.
You've already made your mind up that she isn't going to like you.
Yeah, because you don't have a whole conversation in your mind.
Yeah.
And nothing has happened. Nothing has come to fruition. And you've already told yourself, oh, nah, she don't like me. Yeah. Maybe she's out of my league. She's too cute. Too many people try to come after her, so she's probably not. And even if that's the case, by the way, if you really feel like she's that type of person where everybody's going after her, flocking, there's a good chance that that's not happening because everyone is thinking that.
That is the truth. Put that on the poster. Put that on the billboard. That honestly is exactly what guys be saying. Like, oh, you know, I was intimidated. I know everybody being your damn baby. It's dry, okay? And sometimes it really does be like.
Why are you worried about everybody else?
Right. You don't got no competitive bones in your body.
If you're going to shoot the shot, then shoot it.
Right. Shoot or shoot.
Yeah, I mean, that is very true. I mean, and I think that this goes into, you know, I was talking to Syl and Mikkel about this actually. Those guys that are saying that they're way too intimidated to come talk to you, maybe they're just not for you.
They're really not.
Because you know what I'm saying?
Me too. I feel like I'm not going to go spike at a guy. That's just not for me. I'm not going to do it. If you and I see each other, why do I got to speak? If you're not compelled enough to come up to me, then clearly you don't want me enough, and we'd rather figure that out now and go our separate ways than for me to come out and try to talk that out of you and for that to be the rest of the situation. Because I don't like a guy like that. I like a guy who really is the leader, the boss. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do this weekend. Oh,
that's why she was with the nigga on the roof with the fur coat, because she like a boss. He looked like a boss.
So I thought, but no, he was just a regular guy. But yeah, no, I really do like guys who are, I don't like the term dominant because of the way, you know, guys come out with that alpha male stuff on them podcasts. But yeah, guys who are dominant, who really know what they want, who know who they are and are not heavily intimidated. They're very secure in themselves. Because I'm very secure myself. Like, one thing about me, like, I have confidence to save me through death. You know what I'm saying? I say all the time, like, literally, I'll post a picture of me that I've posted like 8 times on Instagram, and I'll be like, damn, that's my favorite girl. Because I really do look at my picture and be like, dang, she's really cute. You know what I'm saying? I wake up in the morning, I have this really big mirror in front of my bed. I get out of bed, I'm like, dang, she looks good. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, damn. It's to that level. Okay.
Are those affirmations?
I don't even. I feel like at some point it was. Like, I feel like, I remember a point in time a couple years ago when I realized, like, why do I need to go to Snapchat to take a picture on a filter? And I realized, like, it does change your face up to the point where, like, because you think this is prettier, you become more attracted to that instead of who you really are. And I will say that, for one, sometimes that front camera doesn't look as good as it does in the mirror, but I still try to, like, not go ahead and use a filter because of the fact that I don't want to become used to a certain image of myself that really is not a good reflection of who I am and what I look like.
I respect that.
Yeah.
And I feel like for a time when I was like, okay, I'm not doing filters at all, ever, for any reason, I would literally go to the mirror and intentionally be like, you are so beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And I would say that so much to the point where, like, I hated using filters. And it got to a point where, like, I literally would look at myself and be like, that girl is beautiful. It really is affirmations. When you keep on speaking those things to yourself, it really does manifest within you. And I mean, I feel like that works so well for me. And I look at myself, and even without trying, I'm like, dang, she's cute, because she's cute. You know what I'm saying? So I really do like a man who's secure in himself too, because I really don't want to sit here and be dragging you along like a puppy trying to make you feel good because you can't do that for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Build yourself up so when you come to somebody, y'all can really just build together instead of this person trying to build you up to where they are before you guys can move forward. That's really not how relationships start. And I feel like a lot of times those are the guys who be coming up to me, and I'm like, you are not looking for somebody like me, because you will be very disappointed when you get a little too much for me. You become a little too, like, I'm really looking at you like you need to work on you. And I feel like that'll be the quickest thing that'll turn me off.
Yo, somebody looking at you like that is wild.
Yeah, like, you really, like, you don't have it together. You don't love you enough to ever really love me. And so you really need to work on you. And I really hope that does happen. I can't sit here and tell you how you're going to live your life, but I'm going to tell you right now that you have too much work in you to be with me. That is the worst. You know what I'm saying? Are you
a man eater?
I wouldn't call myself a man eater. I feel like
just a villain sometimes.
Okay. You're not a villain anymore. Not in 2022. But I feel like I wouldn't call myself a man eater. I do feel like, you know, I'm a black woman, a young black woman at that, a professional young black woman. So guys do talk to me. I feel like I do go through them. Like, when I do talk to a guy, I feel like I'll usually know within the first couple weeks, yes, I want you, or yes, I want to see where this goes, versus like, no, I absolutely don't want you. You know what I'm saying? I always say, like, I don't always know, but when I know, I know.
All right.
It may not come to me instantly, but when it comes to me, like, this guy's good, this guy's bad, I feel like I'm never wrong. And not even just with dating. I feel like in people in general, I'm a pretty good judge of character. You know what I'm saying? I do have that bit of a discernment when it comes to people. I feel like sometimes...
Is that intuition? Or is that like are these certain things that you're looking for in people?
I feel like it's an intuition, because I feel like I'm very observant of people and how they are, their mannerisms, how they speak of others, about themselves and things. And I feel like I'm very good at being like, you know, this person really does have a spirit that irritates me. Like, they really are somebody who I know I'm going to have friction with. And I can sit here and say, any of my friends can agree with it. If I've sat here and been like, oh, I don't like this person, it's stuck like that. Like, every interaction I've ever had with that person after that was that. And I may not feel that way from the beginning. Sometimes it's like, I don't know what I feel about this person. But when I do feel like I feel a concrete way about a person, I feel like I'm always right. Do you know what I mean? When I'm able to come to a decision, this is how I feel about this person, I have not been ever made wrong. And I feel like I'm just very good at judging people's characters based on, you know, how they move, how they treat others, how they speak in general, and even about themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, those are some pretty good indicators.
Yeah.
How they're treating other people. You guys go out to eat, how they're treating the servers, the wait staff, all that sort of stuff. Do they talk about their family? How do they talk about their family? You're right. How do they treat themselves? What do they talk about? How do they think about things? Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Sounds good.
There's this one guy pretty recently, actually, like, everything he ever wanted to do, he's like, oh, I want to do X, Y, and Z, but I want to wait until you're free to do it. You know, I want to go see this, but I want to wait till you're free to do it. And I'm just like, sir, do you not fuck with yourself enough to do stuff by yourself? You know what I'm saying? What is it about you that you don't want to be alone with you? You know what I'm saying? What is going on in your head?
That's a scary place for some people.
But you know what I'm saying, though, right? Like, I really be looking at, like, what is going on in your head that you don't want to be alone with your thoughts? I really be out here. I posted the other day, actually, I think like 2 days ago. Like a photo set, you know, post birthday or whatever. And the last one was like, you know, I don't ever want to live in the real world. Like, I live a delusional life, you know.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know what I'm saying? And it really does be like that for me because I really feel
romanticized life.
A romanticized life. I really do go to the bar by myself. And, you know, I have my little AirPods and I'll be listening to my music. I'll be sweating. I'm like, I'm sure these people are like, what is she listening to? Because she's definitely offbeat. But I'll be enjoying myself so much because I'll be there with my thoughts. There are times, even when I was driving here, I was thinking about something and laughing in the car in silence. Because I'm just like, I'm a funny girl. Like, I really fuck with myself so heavy. And I really do seek out people who also have that much in them. And I understand that not everybody's there. It's a journey, really. You know what I'm saying? I'm still on a journey. Everybody's always going to be on a journey. Like, the day your journey ends, like, I feel like you're dead. But I feel like sometimes your placement in the journey will not align with other people's. And that, I feel like, is kind of where I'm seeing problems with people. Like, you just have not joined that journey of, like, really fucking with yourself. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's the kind of person, I feel like a lot of times they're attracting me because they see that I really fuck with myself. And I feel like sometimes people will expect you to kind of pour that into them as well. Yeah,
they want someone to rub off on them.
Right, but it's like, you know, this wasn't poured into me. I poured this into me. Like, I grew this within me, really. And this is something that I feel like when you really, like, see the love within yourself, of yourself, from yourself, for yourself, it's really grown from within. And I feel like a lot of people haven't necessarily gone through that process of, like, truly watering that part of them, you know?
Watching that seed grow.
Yeah, you're saying a lot of things that I've been thinking about recently. I've been thinking about, I mean, again, along with this human growth machine I've been putting together, it's like building a life it's its own natural resource, its own perennially, you know, running natural resource. It's just self-sustainable. And so, as you know, I've done much work for myself in, you know, the past few years, well, many years. And I was having a conversation with a friend. Having a conversation with a friend the other day. Who would have known? And it was a beautiful conversation. It was a conversation, like, her and I hadn't, it was Sada. It was her. So we hadn't had a conversation in a long time. She's gonna come on the pod. But we used to have so much friction between us, me and this person, and it was for a lot of reasons. One, like, I had expectations of her and who I thought she ought to be in my life, which is ridiculous, right? And vice versa. And I needed more humbling experiences so that I wasn't thinking of myself as someone that I certainly wasn't. So I'm telling myself complete romanticized narratives that just take you to a darker place. Now, like, now you're in a delusional and deranged place, but that not only, like, inhibits you from being who you ought to be, but it also inhibits the relationships around you. And it's not really that good. So I'm sitting there, I'm having this conversation with this person, and it's a beautiful conversation. We're getting a lot out. It was a huge, super, super therapeutic session that we had.
Yeah.
And I just sat back and thought, man, I have wanted to be this person so long that feels so comfortable just looking at people and telling them, I love you. I care for you. I'm so glad that you've been a part of my life for whatever part that's been. We don't always have to be here in this capacity, and this love will still be extended to you no matter where you are. And not feeling as though it takes something away from me to be able to say that to someone, like it makes me lesser or something like that. Cause that was a weird space to be in, right? Like your pride sort of fighting for that number one spot. So you don't want to give these accolades to someone else. It's really weird, pathological way of looking at
and
things.
sometimes you can be unsure about how people are going to feel about what it is that you're saying to them.
Yeah.
Right. So then also letting that, like shedding that, like, listen, I have good intentions. I'm going to say this with all the deliberateness in the world. And after it leaves me, now it's out of my hands. They're going to do with it what they want to do with it. But this is what I'm coming from the heart with it. So this is just what it is. And allowing that to be the case. It's a beautiful place. We had a great session together talking. I could hear her on the phone smiling, which is awesome when you can hear someone smiling, right? Because this wasn't FaceTime. Yeah. So that's cool.
What?
This one wasn't FaceTime. Yeah. Is that super weird? Listen, I wasn't going to, the person called me. I wasn't just going to be like, why don't we just FaceTime? Like, it's fine. It wasn't a big deal. But I thought about that moment and how moments like that I have with people, because I told you before, I have only pleasant experiences with people.
Yeah.
It's something about the way I'm moving, something's going on, but I just have pleasant experiences with people.
Yeah.
And those pleasant experiences that I have with people only further propagate and recycle themselves into further pleasant situations with people.
I love that.
And then even as I meditate, every once in a while, some simulation or some little theater play will like roll through my head, and I'll think about me talking to someone that I know or something like that. And it's just completely hypothetical. It's not like a memory. And it's just a made up scene, but that scene is a pleasant and beautiful scene that plays out. And I just watch it play out, and then I go, and then I let it go. But just the fact that I have these thoughts and these experiences with people, it just further generates more of itself.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the wildest thing. It's sort of like, I was telling someone, like, when people tell you to find a way to make your money make money for you so that you can relax, that's what's going on for me, except it's just intangible things. But it's much more important to me than anything tangible.
Significantly.
Yeah. So that's what I was thinking about when you were saying those things just now. But yeah. I think it's super important that people find out what the fuck is going on with them before they have any idea. Yeah. And these guys at the gym or the grocery store or wherever, yeah, you're right. They probably, I know that they're overthinking stuff. Like, they probably just get attacked all the time, by fucking men, and I'm certain most of them are creepy, so they're not going to be happy about me coming up to them. But these are just stories that you're telling yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that just like not feeling weird about saying what's from the heart to somebody because you don't know how they're going to take it. If it's like, oh, that's a little too strong. Oh, that's weird. Whatever. I don't think that there's an issue if you walk up to someone and you're just respectful.
Yeah.
I think as long as you stay respectful and then they say anything that is just like, oh no, or then you leave it. Oh, thank you very much. I just want to say that, all right, I'm gonna let you on your way. And you leave immediately.
It's almost like, when you're too worried about what someone is going to do or say or think about what you're trying to hopefully respectfully get off your chest, you're just creating burden for yourself. There's so much burden.
1,000%. 1,000%.
Because, now you get to overthinking. Maybe you start stressing out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? This girl's really beautiful. You do want to talk to her, but your judgment is, and your mind is so clouded by a nigga that you made up in your mind that might have talked to her last week in the gym. That doesn't exist.
Right.
But, I agree with you in the sense that, like, 9 times out of 10, if you're approaching someone with her sanity, of course, and you're respectful, honestly, I feel like a lot of times you'll get a conversation out of that person. You might get their number. Even if it never really gets anywhere, I feel like a lot of times, or even if a girl's like, I'm not really interested, usually you'll get that respect back. And I feel like that alone is still a win. You know what I mean?
1,000, yes.
Like, you got to speak your mind, like, hey, you're beautiful. can I get your number? I'd like to take you out sometimes. Even though she's like, no, but thank you. You've sat here and poured something beautiful into somebody who you think is attractive. You've given them a little confident boost. You know, you've given them something to walk away with, some sweet words, you know. And sure, it wasn't exactly what you wanted, but as someone that you were potentially going to go for, isn't that still worth it? You know what I'm saying? Isn't that still worth pursuing them to an extent?
If your intentions were true from the beginning, then yes, it is.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And if you know how to accept rejection.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, well, that's the whole thing is it, I mean, reject, I mean, yes, I guess in a literal sense it is, but
you did not get what you thought you were going to get or what you wanted.
Well, see, that's the thing. But that's the thing. It's like what you thought you were going to get, that's an expectation you probably shouldn't have had.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What you wanted, probably it still shouldn't have been that. You're still sort of aiming at the wrong place. Like, yeah, that'd be nice if it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I see someone and I'm interested.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason it is that I'm sensing right now, I'm interested. And what I really want to do is have a connection with this person in this moment. And so if I get to have that and do it respectfully, then, and this person knows that, and they walk away from me knowing that I'm a respectable person, and I got to say what I say, like that is the win. I completely understand what you're saying.
And you never know. You might have just planted a seed that might grow later.
Oh, 1,000%. They could walk away and be like, you know what? That wasn't the right time, but I see him again. Now it is the right time. And I remember
couple months later.
And I remember them being a respectable person and they gave me my space and like, you know what? Or, you know what? It ain't me, but I have a friend that you might like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if they came to you respectfully, it's like, yeah, I could see you with my friend. Okay. I might be able to make that happen. That's man. Solid nigga activity.
SNA.
It's extremely important because, you know, yeah, man, it's you sitting. This is where mindfulness always comes into my conversations. And honestly, to some degree, people don't like it, but the separation or the understanding of the self being an illusion to a very large degree, right? Now, now you can live within the illusion and that's fine. And there are rational reasons as to why you might want to live within the illusion of however it is you put your identity together.
Yeah.
But you sitting across from one and realizing that there are way too many people in this room. If it's me and you, I'm talking to you. I have who I think I am versus who I am. I have who I think you think I am. And if I'm thinking about all these things, who I think I am, who I may really be, and I may be being untruthful to, who I think you think I am. If I'm thinking about all these things, that's going to be altering the way that I'm speaking to you, which is ultimately going to be, I'm going to be fumbling all sorts of shit all over the place.
No,
it's going to be fucking a weird interaction between us.
Just not enough niggas being themselves.
I agree with you.
And that's why I brought all this up, because that's what she's speaking on.
You look at a girl and you just ultimately think about, you start thinking about her experiences and what she's been through and who she might have been with, the type of guys that she likes.
Yeah.
And then you're approaching her in that manner, trying to just be as attractive to who you think she is as possible.
And who you think that she would be attracted to. Right. And so bro, that's just, come on, man. Hey. Everybody relax. We can't, this is, when you break down like anxiety, it gets wild. Like the layers to it gets wild.
It does.
It's man, we gotta work on ourselves. I completely champion the things that you're saying, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, we gotta champion these things. We gotta come together. Yeah, go for it.
Let's talk about lunch with Liya.
We should definitely talk. We just got in it. Where we at? We're like an hour 15 in. Yeah, okay. Let's talk about lunch with Liya.
All right.
Okay. How did this start?
So I feel like I've always been that person. I have a long highlight reel on my regular Instagram, right? Because I do like taking pictures of things that I find beautiful. Like I have a long highlight reel or highlight thingamajig, you know what I'm saying, of nature, sunsets. I got dozens of sunsets.
You be hiking?
No. I've been hiking a couple of times, but I just be outside and I really admire a sunset. Even today, I was on the phone on the way here and I was like, dang, the sunset looks like cotton candy. One thing about me, it doesn't matter where I'm at. It doesn't matter how I'm feeling. I'm going to admire the sunset. That's one thing about me. I was actually telling my friend, like,
one of the simple pleasures in life, right?
It is. You know what I'm saying? It really is a manifestation. I feel like for me of God's love, he gave us the rainbow, as a measure of hope, and I think all the time about how the rainbow comes every so often, but a good sunset can be found any day. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Depending on how you look at it, how you want to look at it. Not just the days where it's like the purples, the pinks, the oranges, but even the hues of blue. You know what I'm saying? That black to gray gradient. I really love that, and I like to post things I like. Food was one of those things. I feel like growing up, whenever there was an accomplishment or whenever we did things with our parents, I'd say that food was involved. We've always been the family that had Thanksgiving at the crib, Christmas at the crib. You know what I'm saying? Ever since I can remember, my whole life. My mom still does that. You know what I'm saying? So I've always really liked joining people over food. So I have a long highlight journal on my page with all these pictures of food. And people are always asking, where's this? Where's that? And as I got older, I got a little bread in the pocket, and also dealing with guys who also had more money and just being older and being, more open to different experiences. The places got nicer. The DMs got deeper. The comments got deeper. And during quarantine, I had thought about it. I think it was actually at the very beginning because I started it in 2021. Yeah, so I would say mid 2020, I'm like, I want to do a food page. I want to put all my food in one spot and really just admire the food spots that are out here. I want people to be able to see the different places that there are and different ways you can connect to different cultures with food or just connect with your people over food. I have so many memories that revolve around a meal of some sort. So Lunch with Liya really transpired from me just admiring what food has done in terms of bringing a bit of happiness in my life,
Okay.
So I have gone all over the DMV, even some places outside, we're going to post about those later, but
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. It's just really nice to hear someone that just have a real thoughtful, thought out reason to why they started doing something versus just, I thought it was cool. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
I appreciate that. Yeah. So, I have a lot of places that I just always go to. I have my go-tos, but I always want to try new spots that come up. I tried this one spot on U Street. I'm always on U Street with my friends. I've been on U Street for years, bar hopping, dang near blacked out. You know what I'm saying? But then now they have these really nice restaurants. And it was nice because I went to this place, DC London Curry House, right? So it's bringing together that idea of Indian food, but not just Indian food, but the way they present it in the UK. So they got the little telephone booth in there. They got both the flags in there. They got the drinks, the food. And I remember me and my girl, we were actually the only two in the restaurant there. And, she also is a food blogger. So, we're taking our pictures, we're doing our thing. And the guy who worked there was just explaining the different foods and, their importances to India and, why they became so popularized in the UK. And I felt like this is exactly what I love about food so much. You know what I'm saying? Here you are just looking for a meal to nourish yourself, but there's so much more behind it, and not everybody cares about that. I don't always care about that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I just want a meal, but it's so nice to see how something that you think is so small, it's almost like pulling a carrot out of the ground when it first harvests. You really don't know what's down under there until it comes out. And I feel like that over meals. So I really enjoy it. I like going around and taking pictures. I like trying the new spots. I like when people ask me questions. I like when people tell me their experiences. Me and Kim were talking about it in the parking lot when I was coming in about how, there's a spot I had shared and he actually lives near there now. And I posted on there, the food's trash, y'all. Food's bad.
It's not good.
The drinks are cute. And if you're somebody who really likes the artistry of how people make the food or how it looks and how it's presented, it's still worth going to. And I do have those times where I post about a place. I'm like, yeah, you guys, if you're looking for a good meal, this ain't it. But there are things to admire about this place, and
has anyone ever reached out to you after you have given a bad review? Anyone ever?
And just
yeah.
Oh, definitely. They've been like, oh yeah, do you think you could take this down? Absolutely not. I cannot take it down.
Take it down.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
There has been, because I feel like honestly. So there's different ways that this goes on. Sometimes I just go out with my friends or whatever, or, I go on a date, whatever the case is, and I go out to eat. But then alternately, there are the restaurants that ask me to come out. And, I just take the,
they asking you to come out.
Oh yeah, plenty of times. They ask me to come out. Sometimes it's even paid. You know what I'm saying? Like, not only is the food free, because if you're asking me, make sure you're offering me something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can.
Because otherwise, I'm going where I want. If you want me to post something you want, I'm giving you a service now. You know what I'm saying? And you're asking me to create content for you, be the photographer, be the editor, and also be the social media manager.
Yeah, for sure.
For you. So I'm doing a bit. So sometimes it's just free food, and I'm like, okay, why not? Like, it's a new experience, something. Sometimes it'd be the situations of like, no, like what do you like compensation, because maybe it's far, or maybe it's just I'm not really interested in going there on my own anyway. So there has to be some reason why I'm coming out. But there's so much that goes into it. There's so much. But when it's me paying for it myself, and I've decided to take my pictures of the meal I have, and you want to sit here and tell me to take it down, how much are you giving me to do that? Because no, this is my page. This is what I'm curating. This is my space.
Everything comes with a price.
This is my space here. If you have a problem with me posting it, why don't you go back to your kitchen or whatever the problem was here, instead of you trying to address me and tell me to take it down, go ahead and address the problem itself and fix it and hope that doesn't happen again. But also, all press is press. You know what I'm saying? Bad press is still press. Somebody's going to click on that and be like, oh, this food looks kind of good, though. They're going to see other people posting good things, and
You're tagging these restaurants?
Absolutely.
Yeah, she
at blah, 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 trash.
Yeah. I'll be having a little pin emoji. I'll say what the spot's called. I'll have the area of the city in it. I'll tag their Instagram. You know what I'm saying? I post it on my story. I tag them on the story. I'm tagging them on the picture. And it's not even a thing of like, I'm calling you out, but it's a situation of this is how I'm curating the space.
Right.
And if you have a problem with me speaking on my bad experiences with you guys, then why don't you guys put that energy, instead of telling me how to create my space, why don't you put that energy into making sure that people do not experience this again? Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
They say the customer's always right. Straight right, the customers were not always right. They were very wrong. But when it comes to this, we be right. You know what I'm saying? If I don't like this food, I don't like this food, period.
I hit up Marianne today and let her know we were doing this.
You did?
Yeah.
How is she?
She's doing well. I talk to Marianne quite often, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She just moved to North Carolina.
Yeah, I thought I saw that. But they didn't do...
Yeah. They've been together for a minute. He's really dope.
Oh, I feel like I remember when they had started things out. I think they went to like a ball game or something, remember?
Oh, they always go to ball games.
But I feel like that's where I remember him the first time. Like they had gone to a ball game. And I was like, I love that for you.
Yeah.
Not she be but something new.
I'd have been to her crib several times, like for like Friendsgivings and like just, cookouts and shit like that. Like Marianne's been solid nigga activity.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yes.
I love
They
her.
flocked together.
I mean, she was a great boss.
They flocked together.
Yes.
She was a great boss. I never really had any complaints.
Cool as shit.
She was.
Cool as shit.
She was very cool. Keon was too. Like, surprisingly, Cleon was actually, he was the funnest manager. He was also the manager that would steal your food. There's this Chinese spot we would always be eating at. You know exactly what I'm talking about,
actually,
too. We'd be out there eating.
For a second, caught me off guard for a second, but then I thought, wait a minute, maybe.
We'd be sitting there eating, and he'll come over and he'll look in your food. I want that one. And tell you exactly which piece of chicken he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Literally.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
I no, feel like he was very comfortable.
I'm glad that you were comfortable enough with me for me to do that. I thought
we all were. I feel like it was such a small store. Like, it was literally a small store.
Yeah, it was very small.
So everybody was pretty cool with each other. Like, we didn't really have... There were certain people who would come in and it was like, you're the friction. But I feel like they were also out very quickly. But for the most part, we all got along pretty well. Like, and when Keon and Marianne were there, like, it was a great time working there. I actually loved working retail. Like, it was fun coming in. Remember Vernon? I still follow him too.
Oh, yeah. I follow Vernon.
Love
Absolutely.
Vernon. Love Vernon. But yeah, it was just a fun time with us. You know what I'm saying? It was just always good vibes. You didn't have a problem with who you have a shift with, like, oh, damn, I don't want to work there with this person. We didn't have those kinds of issues. You know what I'm saying? If anything, it was more or less like, dang, I got to open again. I got to close again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially for me, I ain't like doing nothing, to be honest. I like to pull up, sell a couple things, flirt with the dads, move on.
Flirt with the dads.
But other than that, it was actually like a very chill environment. Keon was actually a great boss.
Yeah.
He was
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Very flexible.
That's good.
I appreciate it.
Forget about whatever old girl's saying about you these days, man. You a great boss, all right,
he was a great boss. Like, there were so many times where it's like, we're supposed to clock in like 30 minutes before you have to like open the store. Me, I had to come in like 12 minutes before because I had like I had a way that I could open both computers at the same time. And so it cut down so much time doing it that I really only needed like 12 minutes max to be able to open it on time every time. No issues, get the money in, open up, lights up, the signs where they need to be. Remember that one sign that got to go outside the gate, you know? So I'll be putting up a little later. I wouldn't clock in sometimes, but I'm like, listen, I was here at 9:30, okay? Like, because point is, I got it done. You know, I opened on time. You need that 30 minutes to get it open, fine. But I needed 12, so I'm gonna come in 12 minutes before. And, you know, my time was always adjusted to where it needed to be. So Keon was a great boss in every way.
Speaking of work, I've been in the food and beverage industry for actually quite some time now. Mm-hmm. And where I work specifically, it's quite mandatory, if not heavily suggested, that when guests are asking about food items, you don't say things like, which is usually the case when you go certain places, oh, it's great. Everybody loves that dish. Oh, you should definitely get it. Oh, that's my personal favorite. You should definitely have this thing, right? You start using descriptors. You talk about what you're seeing there. It has vibrant colors. It's layered this way. Yeah. This comes atop this. It's sprinkled here. This is light and fluffy. This is crunchy. This is creamy. This is light. This is hearty, right? You start talking about those
savory.
Like, this is savory. This is sweet, right? So when you're doing these reviews, are you just saying that some of these places are trash? Or are you saying, let me tell you specifically what I didn't like about it?
Oh, no, I'm very descriptive. Like, I'll say, like, you know, we got these ribs. They were burnt. They were cold. Everybody's food came out, you know, after 20, 30 minutes. You know, I asked about this multiple times. I'm actually thinking exactly about the place that we talked about.
I know. I remember.
Oh, listen, I was so upset.
I got the, it's like a chicken and rice bowl type of thing. Chicken was dry as hell.
Yeah. And the girls.
Even with the sauce on it.
Yeah. It was dry. It was a little burnt. It was overcooked. It was just bad.
My chicken tenderloins don't even come out like that when I pull them out the air fryer. The air fryer keep them juicy on the inside, nice and crispy.
You know, that place was terrible. But yeah, like, I'm very descriptive about, like, what I do like about places. Like, sometimes it's just a quick review and I'm like, yeah, God, this was great. The food tasted good. It was hot. It was creamy. It was whatever. But a lot of times I'm like sitting here like, you know, this tasted buttery. Like, this was warm. This melts in your mouth. You know, it's very delicate. Like, I went to a place for my birthday. It's actually at the Trump Hotel, but you know, leave that out. We went to this one spot and the food was so good. And it was for my birthday. My girl Hawa, she paid for everything. And, you know, I went to
shout out to her.
Love you, Hawa. But, you know, she got these little cake pop things. It was like a cake pop treat. But it wasn't like Starbucks cake pops. Like, when you bite into it, like the outside like cracks and the inside immediately starts to melt in your mouth. It was the craziest thing. And I'm not really big on sweets, but that joint was so good, you know? And I went ahead into that in my page, you know, like, that's the kind of thing I'll say, like, you know, it's creamy. It literally melts right into your mouth. It's like butter. Like, I really be putting my foot into it because I really want people to understand, like, it's not just, oh, this was good, it was bad, you know? There's so much to be said, not only over food, which is what I love, but about the food. Like, it really took a lot of effort and thought to put into this. And I put that effort and thought coming out when I'm writing these things. Like, I really do want people to go out and experience these things, like, preferably with other people, but also by yourself. A lot of places I post are just me, and I'm okay with that. I'm a person, if I want to go out this weekend, and sometimes it's not even like my friends are busy. Sometimes it's just like, I don't want to see you guys. And it's nothing personal, but sometimes I really just want to rock with myself. You know, I want to put on a cute outfit for me. I want to put on one of my favorite perfumes for me and go out, got my AirPods charged up. Like, I don't need to hear nobody, you know, maybe I'll even bring out the Netflix on my phone or YouTube and watch whatever and just be enjoying myself. But, like, I feel like sometimes that exchange with the food, you know, like, you look through the menu and you intricately look at, like, what are you in the mood for whatever reason. You know, I don't want something too heavy because, you know, I want to go to bed tonight really early and I don't want that sitting on my stomach, you know, whatever the case is. And you order something that, like, fits you. Like, I love that feeling, going out and having a great meal, whether it's with somebody or by yourself, and then just exiting there and just not just remembering the atmosphere, but, like, that exchange with the food, that feeling you had when you bit into this, or, like, the excitement you had when this tasted a certain way. Like, I enjoy that.
I really like how you're explaining food right now. Like, it's just an experience.
It is an experience.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, but that's what people go out. People don't go out just to purchase food. They go out for an experience. Like you're thinking about the ambiance.
Yeah.
You're thinking about the cleanliness. You're clearly thinking about the food. But
Honestly,
even when it comes to the food, you're thinking about the plating, the quality.
I've said this to Mike before. Sometimes I pick restaurants based on the ambiance, not even the food.
Yeah.
I want to know what it like. If I'm bringing my girl here, I want to know what it look like in here.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just coming for a vibe. Like sometimes you just want to feel a certain way when you enter somewhere. Like there's been times where I'm like, actually, like you were saying earlier, how you want to put stuff together now because quarantine's over. You don't want to just be out here looking slouchy.
Yeah.
I've definitely been saying that. And I put it on my Instagram actually, like, I put on an outfit and I came back downstairs. I actually posted on my story. I put on an outfit. I came back downstairs, looked at myself in the mirror, and I was like, you know what? I could be cuter. And I went back up. I had a little bit of something. I changed my nose ring out. I put on a different watch. I was like, and I came back down. I'm like, this is more like it. I've been trying to like really put on that ambiance for myself more. I feel like I definitely let that go during quarantine because it was just, you got the crib. Like I had a job that actually shut down, and then I ended up working from home for a long time, and then working for myself and stuff. So like for a while there, I really didn't care about what I was looking like. I was just looking like anything. And also in the beginning of quarantine, that's when I started
looking like anything.
That's when I started growing my hair out the first time. So 2020, everything was shutting down. March came around. I actually got in an accident one weekend, and the accident wasn't crazy or anything, but I was just in a funk after that. And I was like, you know what? I don't feel like going to the barbershop. And then the barbershop closed anyway. And I was like, well, that's great. So, naturally, I just started growing my hair out. I ended up cutting it again. But, nonetheless, that was really the beginning of it. Like me just not caring. Because one thing about me, I was getting my hair cut every like 7 to 10 days. Because I had a part, remember?
Yeah.
So if that part was starting to grow little specks of hair, I'm going back to the barbershop. Sometimes I'd be like, yo, just get the blade real quick.
Just hit the part.
Just get the part real quick. I got something to repeat. Like, come on.
Gotta keep the part sharp.
I already dressed up, like, come through, and I was like, listen, between them two, go ahead and put the part back in. Like, I'm gonna slide you $10 because that's all I need right now. Like, and get out of there. Like, I was really on it, but then quarantine hit it, and I just didn't really care. So I've really been putting more effort into like looking good all the time. Obviously not right now, but I've been tired. Okay, I've been out for like 2 weeks straight for my birthday.
Don't do it. Why she gotta do
You
that?
good?
No.
You are.
Because I've been out for 2 weeks straight for my birthday. Even last night, I went out again.
Oh God!
With one of my friends.
Did I hear that right? She just said that she been out for 2 weeks straight for her birthday. Okay.
Yes.
No. If you see my Instagram, everybody's been saying it, and it's true. And I'm like, I've been outside, but I want to be inside. I was saying after today, like I came out because I'm like, I really wanted to be here. But after today, ain't nobody finna see me.
Thank you for this being in some way the finale. Like this is it.
Or worth it.
Yeah, exactly.
It
Man.
is. It definitely is because, I was eating my salad in the car too. Like I had my little salad on my lap and I'm like, I only need one hand to drive this car. So I'm really out here eating it, trying to navigate it on my lap in traffic and stuff.
You're doing a lot.
For sure, 1,000%.
I sure was because I was like, I really wanted to be here. So.
I've eaten some things and drove, but not a salad.
Yeah, she balancing a salad on her lap.
Yeah, I was craving a salad. I was craving this. My birthday too, actually the day after my birthday, I went out with this one guy and we went to this place I've been wanting to go for a minute, and like I was like, man, I remember all these things I wanted to try, and I pulled up. I'm like, let me get a salad because I was just craving it so bad, like a good salad that's well dressed. I was just craving it.
I enjoy good salad.
I had a salmon Caesar and I loved it. Like I liked the vibe. He was there first. I pulled up a little later. You know what I'm saying? Scurried up in there beside him, and it was real cute. Having a little salad. It was really giving breakfast at Tiffany's, and it was pretty early too. So it was breakfast at Ruthie's. It was Ruthie's all day. It was a great time there. So I don't know. Getting dressed up, getting good food, it really does make me feel great. Do you know what I'm saying? And again, it goes back to like how I was saying, a lot of times some people don't want to do nothing unless they're with other people. But I feel like me and food, it's me being in good company, Yeah.
So when you were growing up, was your mom doing most of the cooking?
Yes.
Absolutely. And she's still cooking?
Oh, my mom be cooking.
And did you pick that up?
I don't cook like my mom.
Okay.
That's for sure. But I do like to cook. I do like to throw things together. I actually love cooking when I'm alone in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? As soon as my daughter comes in there, I'm like, I'm ready to throw all this away. Like, get out. I like having that space and really enjoying like, what is this seasoning going to do? What is this going to smell like? It's going to... Some seasonings you really put it in and it does not manifest in the taste, but it does change the aroma. And the aroma does change the feel of the actual food. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I like putting things together, trying different things. Like, I've been experimenting with zoodles. Do y'all know what that is?
No, tell me about zoodles.
Like zucchini noodles?
Yeah, zucchini noodles. Because, I love me some pasta, but, my belly says to stop that. So, I saw zucchini noodles on Instagram, some other food person I follow. And I was like, you know what? People say that it tastes just as good. It doesn't taste the same. However, it does taste really good. Like, you would not think it tastes like zucchini once it's cooked up and got whatever in it. Like, one thing I like to do that's really simple, got the zoodles in there, and they be pre-spiraled, okay? Because I don't got that kind of energy in me. I get them pre-spiraled from Giant. And then, you know, throw in some little bell peppers, some onions, and then just tossing in like a fillet of fish of some sort and breaking it up in there. Put a little bit like garlic, a little ginger, cumin. Actually, cumin. I don't think I grew up having cumin in food, but like I threw in a little cumin and a couple of other things. And the way that joint was so good, it made me eat healthier. But again, it's that relationship with food. You know what I'm saying? I like pasta. It's comfort food. It's easy. Like, no matter what you put in with pasta, it's going to taste good. But it was nice to switch it up for something that also like nourishes my body too. Like, it was a good relationship with the food in the sense that we kind of, it was a give and take. You know what I'm saying? I got something that was super yum, and, you know, I'm just eating this for it to taste good. However, it doubled as something that really did something for me. I
have a question.
Yeah, go for it. You do that.
I noticed recently.
Why are you looking like this right now? Go ahead.
I noticed recently on one of your posts, you got a filet mignon.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know how it was cooked.
I get my steaks cooked medium rare.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
That's all you
continue.
You just had to see if she was doing it right or not.
Yeah, I just want to check.
Because you don't like anyone on this planet that has it cooked past that, or is medium as far as you.
Medium is my limit. Medium is my limit. Medium,
okay. I feel like, honestly, I feel like that would actually turn me off from a guy who eats his steaks cooked
like well done.
Yeah. Honestly, I would kind of be looking at you like, I don't want to eat steaks.
And don't get me wrong, you know, shout out to my girl, because I don't know how I was eating steaks before I met her, but she put me on to the red, and I ain't turned back. All right.
Oh, you go straight rare.
No, but just some pink in the middle.
Just some. Okay.
Medium rare is pretty red, and but it is better. Like, it does change up the texture, it does change up the taste, and you'll realize that you lose a lot when you cook it all the way through.
Yeah.
And people like to act like, oh no, my steak still be cooked. It's not cooked as good as it would have been if it was cooked medium and less. Like, it is what it is. I agree with that completely.
Have you reverse seared anything yet?
Like put it in the oven and then seared it?
And then at the end, and then at the end.
No, I usually sear first. Yeah, I actually made some strip steaks the other night. Seared them. I usually go about 6 minutes on each side. It usually gives me a good medium. But no, I've never reverse seared anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been hearing about that recently.
I've seen some people like dip the steak in like a thing of butter or like oil. Yeah, sous vide. Oh, I think that's what. Yeah.
Go ahead and say it. Correct me.
But no, I've like put it in like just a vat of oil or butter and like put it in the oven. And cook it like that and then sear it. So it's like reverse sear, but like cooked in just a pool of oil or butter. So niggas out here doing some stuff.
I've been getting into olive oil a whole lot more because I love like extra virgin olive oil, but they've been infusing it with things. I mean, if you don't want to do it yourself, like basil or garlic, like those. Those are like, I made a sandwich the other day. Dude, he saw me make the sandwich. I didn't even mean. Like, when I knew in my mind, I'm going to go in the kitchen, I'm going to make a sandwich. That was the first thing in my mind. I didn't know exactly what I was going to put on there. But I started just picking things up, and this is what we came with. It was like a 9-grain whole wheat bread. So that's the base.
Yeah, I seen y'all niggas had a loaf or something in there.
Yes,
sir. Getting loaves.
Nah, what do you... we were just buying just a couple slices before?
No, it's just like, I've never seen just a piece of uncut piece of bread.
No, it's not uncut. It's not uncut.
Oh, I'm tripping. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. That's funny. That's funny. No. But it is like some 9-wheat whole grain bread. I have this basil infused extra virgin olive oil, so I put that on there. Yeah. And if you know that taste, that rich taste,
we keep some olive oil in the crib.
Okay. Put some spicy mustard on there. I had some fresh avocado. Mash that on top.
I'm waiting for a specific ingredient.
Bacon.
No,
it's not going.
Without this ingredient, the sandwich is
okay.
At least for me.
Okay. So we have the avocado, we have the olive oil, we have the spicy mustard on the other side, right on the other piece of bread. I'm doing cracked pepper over top of the avocado. just a little bit of lemon. Just a little bit of lemon juice over top of the avocado. I don't know if you've ever had avocado with lemon and cracked pepper.
Nah.
Okay. Now we're having smoked aged Gouda cheese. Okay, so we're gonna put that down. Then I had Black Forest loin. Okay, thinly cut meat, sort of like yeah. Put that on there. I also had prosciutto. These are only two meats that I've ever had when I've gone out to wineries and you get like a baguette with these types of things. So like these real thin cut meats, put those on top of there. Yeah. Spinach leaves. And then that very well. Wait a minute. What you looking for? What are you looking for? Mayonnaise?
Hell,
are you looking?
I'm looking for some onions, man.
I mean,
onions make like sandwich.
Really? That's right. That's right. I forget that you just eat onions.
I'll pick a fucking onion. Well, not a whole onion. No, I'm not biting into them like apples.
We've gone through this with Ryan.
But Richards, like sliced onions. If I'm slicing, I'm also eating.
Yeah,
I love
onions. He really
I
loves
agree.
onions.
I feel like people who be out here like, I don't like onions in my food. Please don't eat with me either.
Okay, so all right, so we're getting a list of things together in which you cannot come and talk to Liya about. Okay, so don't come talk to her. Shoot your shot if you won't eat onions.
Yeah, no.
If your steak is well done.
Yeah, don't do it.
And if you're not out here trying to better yourself.
That's the top.
Yeah, that's the top.
I mean, those are pretty good credentials.
They are.
I don't think those are bad.
It says a lot about one's character. It sure does.
All right.
People like, I don't like garlic, I don't like onions. So what exactly do you be eating?
Yeah, food bland as hell.
Right. It's true though.
Where is the flavor?
It makes a huge difference.
There are a lot of things you can do out here. It's sort of like there is someone that listen to her talk about these damn, what do you call zoodles? Right? That's like, get the fuck out of here. Like,
I'm one of those people.
Like, yeah, like, no, I need noodles. Like, give me noodles.
But I'm telling you,
I'm one of those people.
Put that together and then come tell me how it tastes.
It's what you said about it with the fish and the garlic and the cumin. It sounds good, but I'm just not a zoodles guy. Like, we picked some up from Wegmans like a month ago. I mean, it's gone now. It's not still there. Yeah. But we got zoodles and we also got like squash turned into noodles. I just wasn't a big fan. My girl loved it. I wasn't a big fan. Did y'all cook them? Yeah.
Okay. You know what?
We tried like sauteed them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what? I'll cook some more for her. I'm gonna cook some more for you. I'm really a big fan. I feel like sometimes it's almost like what I feel about oysters. I feel like 9 times out of 10
oysters.
Thank you. 9 times out of 10 when somebody's like, I don't like oysters, and you be like, have you tasted them? They're like, yeah, exactly. No.
Fried or
Let's
fresh?
Freak it again.
Fresh and cooked.
Fresh and cooked.
Yeah. I love me some good raw oysters. I love a good Blue Point oyster, some East Coast oysters.
You know the spots.
I listen.
Have you shucked oysters yourself?
I have not shucked oysters myself.
You gotta do it.
There's actually a shucking class that we have in the DMV somewhere, and I've been wanting to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Nigga, me and Antoinette just looked it up on YouTube. Went out, got a shucking knife, and went to town.
I love that though. I mean, I really do want to try. Like, I've thought about it.
It's cool. It's a cool experience.
I want to try it. I do. Like, there's so many things I want to cook, but like, there's that little fear of like, I haven't done this before, and it could go so wrong. Like, even steak, I feel like, am I going to know how to cook it the way I actually want it? You know what I'm saying? But again,
I've gotten around to making a good steak. I've sent pictures.
I believe you.
I've sent pictures.
Yes.
Yeah, I make a good steak.
But I need to step out of that. I feel like I do have a good relationship with food, and I love eating, and I feel like I'm very comfortable trying different restaurants and, even being open to the fact that it may not be what I expected it to be or what I wanted it to be, but still having some type of good experience out of it somehow. Like I said, I would say here, like, the food trash, but the drinks are beautiful. And if that means something to you, go ahead and get a drink. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I definitely need to go ahead and step into that with cooking as well. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I stick to, Bazoodles was one of those things for me. I don't eat zucchini. What do I look like? You know what I'm saying? But that was bomb. I actually saw
like zucchini.
I was about to say,
I just don't like them as noodles.
Because I thought that you touched on something that was great, and I wanted to talk about it. Then you just kind of shat on zucchini. But the point being is that you've gone out and eaten so much food now, and so many different types, and you've learned about different cultures and different backstories of things. I would imagine, and you like to cook, not on your mom's level, but you like to cook things.
Right.
And I would imagine that you have found a way to eat deliciously, to have that cake and eat it too, in a sense where you can, no pun intended, whatever. but you being able to find a way to eat great, tasting healthy food, because there are a lot of people that feel like if it's got to be healthy, then it's going to taste like grass.
Yeah.
Right? Sort of like how you made this idea about my green smoothie here, my green drink. Like if it's green, it must taste like shit.
Right.
Not necessarily true. And you've realized that.
Yeah. I mean, you can paint things, you can dress things up a little bit. It doesn't always have to be in the form that you saw it in. Like me and Kiwi, I don't know if we'll ever get along, but maybe somebody will put it in something and I'll kind of feel that spark of the Kiwi, and maybe that'll bring it back home for me. I feel like when it comes to food, or even, when it comes to food, really, there's never a yes for this or a complete no for that. I feel like a lot of times we just need to find a way to make it our own, to make it something that does fit in for you. You know what I mean? There's so many different foods out there. Like, it's literally endless. Like, have y'all heard about how, like, there's so much of the ocean that has not been, looked into?
Yeah.
Think about the amount of space there is on dry land that has certain harvests of different plants or whatever cultivated that you've never even heard of in your life. How can we sit here and definitively be like, I don't like this, I don't like that, when in reality there's so much to be experienced? Like, I'm sure that there is a way that in anything you'll like something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you talked about you like mango. You said I should have threw some mango in there. I'll chop up some mango, maybe do it in my one tomorrow. Favorite fruit?
Absolutely. Like, it's my favorite fruit. It's my favorite scent. Like, I have mango butter lotion. Like, I have mango body washes. Like, I love mango.
You are immersing yourself in the mango.
Yeah.
Listen.
Mango nectar.
I am addicted, okay?
Okay.
If there's anything mango, I feel like I have to force myself not to get it because it's like, I know that it's going to taste good and I know I'm going to love it because it's mango. Like, I love mango.
Mango salsas are always great.
I think I'm going to give you a top 3 fruits for me.
Go for it.
It's going to be mango, and this is not in any order. Mango, watermelon, and probably pineapple.
Mango, watermelon, pineapple.
I've gotten hip to blackberries recently. I never used to eat blackberries, but I started eating them, and I'm like, yo, these are pretty good.
And I like the texture in your mouth, like how it's like a bit bubbly and such.
Yeah.
I like the way it feels in your mouth.
Yeah.
Like, as crazy as I like the way it feels in my mouth, and I feel like that's half of the journey of eating. You know what I mean? Like, people are turned off from certain foods from texture. I feel like I can also be turned on from some foods because of the texture. And I feel like blackberries, the taste is good. Like, it's nothing sensational to me, but it's the texture of it in my mouth that I actually enjoy.
Yeah, I got you.
Funny.
I got you.
Okay.
I had tapped you because we were talking about the oysters, and I was about to tell you that the first time I tried cooked oysters was at the Hamilton. The spot.
Yes.
Your dad's spot. Well, my spot too.
Yes.
But
I walked past that place and it looked fantastic.
Oh yeah, it's a good spot. You should
it
go
looked
there.
like if you're running for mayor, selling like drugs to the entire city, or standing on roofs at night, like, you eat there.
It's Nigga, what?
Right.
What the roof? Because the niggas on the roofs got the furs and the grills.
Yes.
He probably be out there.
Hey, this nigga, listen to his. He is going to lose. He's going to be seeing red.
He's going to have that.
He's going to be seeing red.
Yeah, that was. I hope he's having a good day or whatever.
Do you enjoy smoothie bowls? Have you been to smoothie bowl places?
I have had a couple of smoothie bowls. I feel like I only started having them like last year because I saw people posting about it. Like, listen, food bloggers be influencers for real because I be influenced, okay? And I know people be influenced, but yeah, somebody had this beautiful bowl, like it was like blue, and it had like little star fruit in it, and the fruit was stars, and it was actually called star fruit. Things I hadn't experienced before, things I didn't grow up eating, but yeah, I've had them. I liked them. Even certain things that I wouldn't naturally have, like coconut. I don't like coconuts, but in that bowl, I could see how the flavors dancing together actually went ahead and made something very beautiful. You know what I mean? Like, I really like that.
Dancing
and like, even
together.
Like the granola. I'm not a granola person, but I feel like this is why you can't really say you're not definitively okay with certain foods or into certain foods or just into a lot of things in general, like even music, you know what I'm saying? Because the fact is, like, there's always going to be that way that it inches into your life, you know what I'm saying? And it was good. But yeah, I love me a good smoothie bowl. I've had a couple. There's one place I tried, I want to say it was even like Hawaiian food. Like, I want to say it was Hawaiian because they had a lot of like interesting ways of spelling things. I feel like it was Hawaiian. And it was the things that were in it, like, even looking at it, I had no idea what I was eating. But it was just the flavors and the way the flavors worked with each other was just really good. Have you ever tried to take a spoonful of garlic and eat in it? you would die. Like, the joint is disgusting. But you put it in some food and you see how aromatic it makes the food. Like, a lot of times it's what you combine that makes those ingredients work.
Yeah.
Because they just would not work alone.
What's funny about garlic is a lot of the recipes that I've followed, you know, trying to cook certain things, they'll always tell you to put the garlic in, and when you can start to smell it, that's about the time when you want to start adding those other things in, because the garlic is where it needs to be.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And what you were just saying about these things dancing together, right? I mean, that is that. And what's funny is I'm actually even thinking about human beings. How many times have you said that you have like disliked a certain characteristic about someone or what a human being can be, and then you've seen that same characteristic in someone else and it work?
Probably in me, honestly.
It's like that's how it works. It's like, okay, I didn't like it here, but when you add it with these other characteristics that this person has and they tweak it just this way, for some reason I like this person and I like them a lot.
It's funny you say this. Literally last night I actually went to dinner and then I went to drinks with someone else, and when I went out, we had like, you know, this strawberry honey. The joint was crazy.
Strawberry
honey.
It was a strawberry honey from Stop Smacking in DC.
Hendo.
I'm telling you, that joint.
I've had Hennessy margarita.
No, that strawberry Hennessy. Like, it was really good. Like, you know.
Did they add strawberry flavor in it, or is that just a strawberry Hennessy something? And I've never seen it.
No, it's Hennessy with strawberry. Like, in it, you could see the little seeds in it. Like, it was really good. Like, that joint was great. But, you know, that particular person, I always tell him, like, you're very bossy. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, in that capacity, I like it. Like, for example, there was something some time ago, I can't even remember what it was, but like, I feel like I'm very much a person of faces. You know, like, sometimes I don't really be saying much and I'm just like, you know, the face will say it all. And he had said something probably, and I was making a face and he's like, tell me what you're thinking. I'm like, what? Like, are you okay? Like, can you ask? Like, what are you thinking? You know what I'm saying? But that's how he was speaking. And I feel like it wasn't even in a demeaning way, but it was just very much a, this is what I want from you way. Yeah. This is what I want from you way. And I feel like that definitive, like, this is what I need from you, and not necessarily giving me the option of moving a different way. I was just like, oh, yeah, I kind of like that. I kinda like that. But there are other times where guys be talking to me like, who are you talking to?
What do you feel about if it's like, what if you go on a date with a guy and he's like, he's going to order your food?
I love that. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, well, I like when for example, I actually tweeted about this too.
Yeah, tell me about this
But
thing.
there was this one time I was speaking to this woman, and, you know, she got married very young, and she was just like, yeah, you know, me and my husband, we've been married for this long. And I'm like, girl, like, how? You know, me and these guys be together for like a year, 2 years, and I'll be out here like, when are you gonna leave? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and she's just like, you know, she told me a few things. One thing she told me was like, emotional closeness and physical closeness are very closely related, you know, and I thought about that a bit. And then she also was like, give a man the chance to be a man so he can give you the chance to be a woman. And I pondered on that a bit, you know, and she told me how one thing she does is like when they go out to restaurants, she'll be like, oh, babe, this is what I want. And he'll order it. Why? Because he feels like he's in charge of that table. He feels like he's the head of that table. Y'all in a restaurant. Don't nobody know you. You know what I'm saying? But he feels like he's the head of that table. He feels like he's the one who's making things happen for her. It's literally you saying something that I could have said on my own, but giving him that little inch of like, you take the lead here. I'm going to let you take care of this. You know what I'm saying? Makes him feel good. Literally that weekend, I went out with this one guy and, you know, I actually tweeted about it. And I feel like he did it because he saw the tweet. He did follow me on Twitter. So, you know, he ordered the food and I immediately was like, I get it now.
Without you saying anything? Like, he was just like, oh, she'll have this and she'll have that. No, thank you, sir.
We were talking about the menu and he's like, what do you want? I'm like, I think I want this. So the waitress comes back, you know, and me and my other friends were there. He was just visiting or whatever. And I was like, you know, come meet my friends, whatever. So we were all out at dinner and my friends met him. And the waitress comes back and he's like, I'll have X, Y, and Z. And she's going to have this. And they asked, I got some type of, I don't know what I got, some type of steak. And they were like, oh, how do you want it cooked? And he's like, she likes it medium rare. Do you know what I'm saying? He didn't turn back and ask me because I didn't even bring that part up to him.
Did that send like a chill through your body?
Oh, listen, it's something to chill everywhere. Okay, I was really
okay. Let's listen. Let's listen to this.
I loved it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like since then, I've made it very clear to guys, this is something that now I need. This is now, and it's something small that a guy can do. And I feel like, why wouldn't you do it? But that has become something that I've requested out of guys. Like, you know, like, oh, I want this. Go ahead and order it for me. And sometimes it's like, you know, I'll just say it so calmly, and I feel like the guys that I've said it to have made it happen. And there's something so small about it, but I really do love it. Do you know what I'm saying? And I do like that bit of dating. I feel like dating, it's just, there's just so many ups and downs with it. And there's just, you never really know what you're getting out of someone, because I feel like one thing about me, I'm very myself. Everybody's going to get the same Julia, no matter what. You're always going to get the same me. I'm very much myself from the beginning, because if you don't like me, dislike me from day one, please. You know what I'm saying? And if you're going to fuck with me, you're going to fuck with me for me, because I am me all the time, every time. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I feel like I do see that for me, it's definitely a journey, and it took a while to get to this point. You know what I'm saying? But I took the intentional time of being this person to become this person. And I do see a lot of like a guy will come off this way and he's really just being macho. He wants to put on this facade. And I feel like for me, even if the person you really are is somebody I would have been attracted to, the fact that you felt the need to fake it will turn me all the way off from you for good. Like, it's just something that can't go back from me, because I'm really looking at it like, how often do I have to sit here and keep on peeling back until I find the real you? And when will I ever really know? You know what I'm saying? I feel like this first time I catch a guy trying to do something to like, not impress me, but try to manipulate who he really is in order to present himself as a better version to me, it's just a turn off for many reasons. It makes me feel like, A, you're not trustworthy. B, why don't you fuck with yourself enough to be yourself? And C, why do you feel so casual about deceit? No matter how little it is. That's just how I feel about it. Like, why do you feel like this is such a normal thing to do, to deceive me in some way? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just bothersome. It's bothersome.
That's very true. I feel that. That's hilarious though. It's not the first time I've seen it. Definitely seen it plenty of times, but it's the first time I've heard someone say it really does something for me to just have this person just order this food, just take the reins. Take the reins in many other ways. Definitely have heard that a million times, completely acclimated and understanding with that. But just like ordering my food, this is the first time I've ever heard that.
I love it. Like, I don't know, it really is so small, but it makes a difference to me now. Like, this is something that just in November is when I had this talk with a woman. I can remember completely, because I remember that time that me and the guy went out was in November, the beginning of November. So it was very recently. But like, ever since then, if I go out with a guy, I'm sitting here expecting him to put the order in. You know what I'm saying? And like, even if the waiter's there, like, sometimes I feel like they don't know me, they're going to understand, they're going to get over it, you know, and I'll still be like, oh, I want that. Even with them standing there, because it's just a little bit of me also teaching you how to love me. Do you know what I'm saying? Me teaching you how to approach me teaching you how to treat me. Do you know what I'm saying? And how to navigate this life with me. And also, listen, it's 2022. It's princess treatment only. Do you know what I'm saying? I really don't need to sit here and be roughing it or trying to be this hard girl and strong woman. No.
Well, let me speak on that, actually.
We want soft life.
2022 and, you know, not trying to be like some hard dude. I find it interesting that we're being looked at like we need to be handed this little line, right? So that we can feel like a man. And it's like, if you don't do this thing, then you have a little bit of that manhood taken away from you, and you don't feel quite like you felt like you should have been. And I find that to be very interesting. Not to say that if that's something that you need, then that shouldn't, then maybe the guy shouldn't be able to facilitate that. Like, that should be something that maybe he should be thinking about and want to facilitate for you if you need that. But for me or you, Keon, to need to do that in order to feel like you're a real man.
I ordered the meal.
I feel like, I feel like there's definitely something questionable about your sense of self. Yeah. And the fact that it can be chipped away at so easily. There is also something a little questionable in that.
I think of it the opposite way. Like, there are certain things that I feel like a man is doing for you and some things he's doing for him. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I feel like me wanting to just give my burdens up to, and it's not even a big thing, you know what I'm saying? But it's just one less thing that I'm doing, and just having you do something for me. It's an act of service type of thing. You know what I'm saying? You're just providing me with something that I need at that moment. Okay. I need to put this order in. I could go ahead and say these 7 words myself, but you doing it just feels good that you've done something for me. Something so small that can be done.
You took care of it.
You took care of it. And, you know, there's so many things that women ask for men for these days, myself included. I'd be asking for a lot. You know this. But, you know, there are also those small things that can just be taken care of so easily. And it's just like, for me, it's not even like the fact that you're doing this because you're the man. You're the man because you're doing something for me. Do you know what I'm saying? You're the man because you've given me something that I wanted. It could be a situation of like, dang, this pillow's a little too far to the right, maybe. And you're like, oh, let me adjust it for you. It doesn't make you more of a man to actually do it. But I feel like it makes me feel more of a woman that I have this man doing something for me that makes me feel good, that makes me feel attended to. It makes me feel just seen. You know what I mean? No matter how small it is. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of times we're seeing a lot of this, if he can't buy me this, if he can't do this for me. And, I have my moments. I'm not going to sit here and condemn anybody. But there are also those moments when it's something so small that it can still be appreciated. Like, we can still appreciate the little things here. And I feel like that's one of those little things where it's like, it takes nothing from you to do it. You know what I'm saying? If a guy was really to be like, I'm not going to order your food, I'd really at that point look at you like, why is this a problem? Do you know what I'm saying? It's something so little. But it's the fact that you're doing it for me, regardless of what it is. And I'm really an acts of service type of girl. You know what I'm saying? You're doing something for me. That's just taking a little bit of a load off. And it's the fact that you're willing to do something, anything really, regardless of the size, to take the load off of me, that feels huge.
Was there ever a time where you had a guy that would do that for you in that instance, and then came another instance and he decided he was just going to speak up for you, and you're just like, no. Like, in this instance, I speak up for myself. And he would maybe like, oh, well, I'm sorry. I thought that I speak for you now.
I haven't had that moment.
Okay.
I haven't had that moment. I feel like, again, it's something pretty recent. And, even though I be dating and stuff, it really is like the same circle of people. Date 4 with you, date 8 with you, whatever. You know what I'm saying? For the most part.
So, date 8? I mean, it's a little far along.
Is it?
Or not.
I don't know. I feel like for me, again, it's that situation of like, I don't always know, but when I know, I know. And sometimes that lack of feeling definitive about somebody is your answer. You know what I'm saying? And I've had those too, where it's like, we're dating, we're going on dates, we're talking all the time, and it's just like, I feel nothing. Like, not that there's nothing negative here. There's nothing saying he's a no, but there's nothing saying he's a yes too. And that the fact that I don't feel a pull towards you.
Didn't quite feel that spark.
Nothing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that was like the guy that I was stringing along really last year. There was nothing wrong about you, but there was just nothing about you that made me feel like, man, I really want this guy to stay in my life.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
We just gonna call him the nigga on the roof. or fur coat.
Or fur coat, yeah, for sure. Let's call him Hamilton.
Might as well, but yeah. So I feel like sometimes it's one of those. It really is.
Do you have any place that you are excited about going to right now? Any future plans, any future eateries or trips or anything that, or I'm sorry, you just got done off a 2-week tear, so you're just trying to chill right now.
What's crazy? I feel like also the creepy guys have ruined Netflix and chill, because I really do want that. Minus the extra chill, you know what I'm saying? I don't need all the extra chill, but I really do sometimes just want to go and lay up and watch Netflix and just cuddle. And I feel like sometimes guys be so scared, like, oh my gosh, am I going to push it too far? You're not, okay? You're not. I really just want to watch this movie. I really just want to, but I feel like, it doesn't necessarily happen like that. But what am I expecting right now for food? I mean, there's so many places that are opening in DC. What is it called? Uncaged Chefs.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, so they have a nice concept, you know what I'm saying, out in Maryland. I think it's in Maryland, maybe it's in DC. I've been getting confused, I don't know. But Uncaged Chefs, they have great food. I believe it's Black owned as well. Like, they have great food, bomb food. They're opening up Uncaged Mimosas, which is a brunch spot. Yeah, that's coming, I believe, this summer. So I've seen that around. I'm actually really excited for that because I love their regular concept. I love that.
What is the concept?
So it's like they have like, you be seeing those plates that people be making, like them chefs, like the home chefs be making those kinds of plates.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like their concept is that in restaurant form.
Okay.
That's the best way I could put it. Like, they just have very Black meals that are just dressed up, very chef-like. They've made the homemade into gourmet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I love it. And now they have the brunch concept. And me, listen, one thing about me, I love me a good mimosa. I love champagne.
I can dig it.
You know what I'm saying? Champagne is it for me. So I really love my mimosas.
Mango mimosas.
Listen, I had some of those for my birthday too. So like, you know, I love me some good mimosas. So they have that coming out. I'm actually really excited about that. There's been a lot of other spots that have opened up in DC, like to the point where like it's coming out so fast that I can't even really get to all of them. You know what I mean? And it's a good problem to have. Like,
that's one thing about DC. They got some shit closing and some shit opening.
Oh, listen,
like,
COVID shut down a lot of places. A lot of places did not make it through this pandemic. And it's really sad. Like, there was actually a Peruvian restaurant that I believe closed on like the 12th or something, like a couple weeks ago. They'd been open up for 41 years.
Damn.
41 years in DC. Do you know what I'm saying? And the pandemic really got to them and hit them that hard. 41 years.
That's
Imagine. You've been through a whole lot of things in 41 years, but who would have thought that something like this would ever happen? You know what I mean? It's shut down so many businesses, taken away the livelihood of so many people. But I do feel like, you know, it's kind of a situation where like, you know, the seeds, you know, may have fallen off the trees, but it's growing something new, you know? All these places closing down, it's really sad, but it has opened up spaces for new things that we'll be able to look back at when we're, you know, 70 and 80 and be like, I remember when that just opened up. You know, I remember the first times that place opened up and all our good times there in their first and second year. Now they're experiencing their 30th, 40th, you know? So I do look at it that way too, you know, in the sense that although we lost a lot of what was our DC growing up, we have a lot to look forward to for what we can say was our DC when we're completely like at the end here. You know what I mean? So that's always one perspective I try to look at it for.
Have you been to L'Oreal Plaza?
Oh my gosh. You know what's crazy? The guy from last night was telling me about L'Oreal Plaza. He's actually trying to take me there for my birthday. This is so funny. Hey, boo. But yeah, you know. Yeah, so he was actually going to take me there. So I
that's
haven't
the
been
spot.
there yet.
He said
he loves it.
Me, Earl, Duty, and RJ all went. I mean, I've been there several times before I went.
Duty
with him.
being the guy you seen walk through his house.
Me and my girl, we go there all the time. Me, her friends. We're like, we love that place. The frozen margaritas are like that. But I introduced these guys to it too, and I think they enjoyed themselves.
I'm excited.
You should definitely go there.
I think I don't know. I don't know if we actually set a date. Me, I'll be forgetting stuff. But you know, but he did bring that up last night too. So hopefully we go there pretty soon. I am excited to go there. I'm excited.
Hey.
She said, listen. I already called her. She said, we may have set a date, but I'd be forgetting. I know you better call for a confirmation and not just show up. I know that.
You better make it happen.
Make it happen because I really want to go.
All right. I think we should ask one more question before we wrap this up. Would you like to ask her a question?
Julia, please tell us what is on the forefront of your mind these days?
Honestly, like just a lot of peace. You know, I don't got any tats, but the one tat I really want is one that says protect your peace. Okay. I feel like that really has been a big part of who I am today. Like just knowing that a lot of what you put out does come back to you. That and how you navigate things comes back to you. I feel like sometimes people are having a terrible day and can come at you crazy, and it feels natural to come right back at them the same way. When in reality, you could match their anger with peace, and you've actually just manifested that into the world a little bit. And later on, you'll see how much that manifests in you. I would definitely say there's so much going on.
Yes,
there's
a lot of turmoil out there these days.
Listen, like there's literal wars happening at this moment.
Yes.
Like it's crazy in this world. Like I would say to protect your peace and do your part in actually cultivating more. That's at the forefront of my mind at all times. I feel like however I move these days, I feel like I want everybody who comes in contact with me to be like, she was really full of peace. Like she was really full of God's love. Like she was really full of love of herself and for the world in that sense. So peace is there.
I like it.
Thank you.
I like it.
Those can also serve as last words. Make
those your last words?
Yeah.
Any last words? I would say protect your peace.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Keon.
I went to the MVA today, which is the Maryland's version of the DMV. It hasn't changed much. There's a lot of turmoil in there as well. You know, you go in there. And the reason I was there is I'm trying to become a Maryland nigga and trying to get my license and all that stuff transferred over. But, babies crying, people are super impatient.
Yeah.
The people that work there are over it. They like when I got my name called, you know, the dude is just really like, hey, oh, come, all right, what you got? Okay, all right. So you don't got this? All right, you got to send it to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? And
what are you doing here then?
Right.
You wasting my fucking time?
But I just want to remind you guys that even in situations like that, just continue to find patience.
Yeah.
Because you need it. You really do. It is very much a virtue.
Yeah.
So continue to find patience.
I love that.
Yeah, it's an important thing to do. I would say kind of on the back of hers, because she sort of spoke about some sort of karmic exchange in a sense, but it's, do the things, make the decisions that feed the best parts of you, that propagate more growth. Sometimes people ask me like how my day is going or something like that. I'm like, man, it's going fucking awesome. Like, what my life is like. What do you know what it is? And I just want people to know that it's not that way by chance, right? And that's not how people's lives are put together, really.
Yeah.
You have to make the conscious decisions to have an awesome life. Like, if you get up and you're eating trash all day, you're going to feel like trash. If you decide you don't want to take care of your body because you don't want to eat well, you don't want to, find a beautiful, tasty way of cooking zoodles, you know what I mean? Or going to the gym or exercising in any capacity, really, or trying to nourish your mind with insightful, fruitful things. You have to understand like what it is you're doing. You can't be upset about the progress that didn't come to you from the work that you didn't put in.
Yeah.
You can't be upset. You can't be upset at that unless you're just going to be upset with yourself. In that case, that's okay.
Right.
So just make the right decisions. I would say more often than not, maybe, we don't always know the logistics of the situations well enough to make logical decisions all the time. That's a lot of people's issue. They tell me is that I don't like, what if I just don't know in that moment? Like I didn't have the time to process these things or think this through. I asked you about intuition earlier. If you don't know and you haven't thought things through, you haven't had time to process things, or maybe it's the support that you needed to try to process things or the mental faculties, we were at least given intuition at the end of the day. So when you have that gut wrenching feeling about stuff and you're like, this is wrong, I should walk away from this, then walk away. Just walk away. If you have that feeling of butterflies and it's like, there's something very right about this, then do it. Those are my last words. All right, episode 107. Woo! Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for
This was
having
awesome.
This was fun.
This was a lot.
This was really good.
This was great.